Sid and Friends in the morning.
Entertaining and informative.
On the Red Apple Podcast Network.
In the case of Sid, Sid is an entertainer first and foremost, but he's developed such a massive audience that he's been able to become this political power broker, the likes of which I don't think anyone ever anticipated. And because there's not really a morning show, at least on AM, that has his kind of listenership and his kind of depth, he has the kind of influence politically that I don't even know if Bob Grant had.
First breaking news, a surprise appointment that has a lot of people talking, the sibling successor to fill Lindsey Graham's vacant seat in the U.S. Senate. Good evening. Thanks for being with us. I'm Steve Lacey.
And I'm Natasha Verma. Just a short time ago, South Carolina Governor Henry McMaster officially appointing Graham's younger sister to temporarily fill the vacant Senate seat.
All right, Fox 5 Sharon Crowley monitoring the late-breaking developments coming into the newsroom. Sharon.
Yeah, that's right. The South Carolina governor appointing Darlene Graham Nordoni to finish Senator Graham's current term, which runs out in January. Here's Senator Graham's sister accepting the appointment just moments ago.
I know Lindsey thought the world of his staff and colleagues, and with their support, I feel confident. I think this is what Lindsey would have wanted, and I plan to honor him in this way. Now to Lindsey, I miss you more than I can even put into words, but I'm going to do this. I got it. Thank you.
Well, it was actually President Trump who suggested on social media that the governor of South Carolina appoint Graham's sister to finish her late brother's term. So how will this play out? Well, a special primary will then take place in August. The nominee will then face Democrat Annie Andrews in a November special election. All this as we learn more from a preliminary medical report that Senator Graham, who was 71 years old, died of an aortic tear due to cardiovascular disease. Today in the Senate, lawmakers draping the longtime senator's desk in black. Here's Senate Majority Leader John Thune.
The halls of the Senate already feel empty without him. And I know I'm not alone in that feeling. He was a friend to so many of us on both sides of the aisle. And I know that I'm not the only one who finds it difficult to imagine the Senate without Lindsey Graham.
Well, funeral plans are still being worked out. Senator Graham leaves a significant void in the upper chamber. He was a leader on several powerful committees, including Budget and Judiciary. He will also be remembered for his hawkish stance on foreign policy.
Breaking at this hour, the U.S. launching new strikes on Iran. And for the first time, the U.S. using sea drones in these combat operations, targeting an Iranian submarine and ship maintenance facility. President Trump reinstating his blockade on the Strait of Hormuz, the price of oil skyrocketing already. And the president now says the U.S. will now charge ships going into the strait. Mary Bruce at the White House.
The U.S. launching a new round of strikes on Iran. The two countries trading attacks for days. The war clearly back on.
They're not pushing us around. We're pushing them around.
President Trump now reinstating the U.S. blockade on Iranian ports as both sides battle for control of the Strait of Hormuz. Iran announcing it's closed, but Trump declaring the U.S. will soon become, quote, the guardian of the Hormuz Strait and charge a 20% fee on all cargo that goes through it.
We're going to guard it. We're going to get paid for guarding it. A lot of money.
Before Trump launched this war, ships were able to pass freely through the strait without needing protection. Secretary of State Marco Rubio has previously dismissed any talk of fees.
No country is allowed to charge tolls or fees on an international waterway.
If Trump's fee goes into effect, a massive oil tanker transporting 2 million barrels could soon have to pay the U.S. upwards of $32 million. That could cause oil and gas prices to spike even further. They're already on the rise. Gas now at $3.82 a gallon. Analysts say it could top $4 in a week.
And David, you heard the president. He's reimposing that blockade on Iranian ports and wants to charge this 20% fee. Oil prices spiking based on that news, up more than 9%.
York Governor Hochul wants some answers following reports of 3 ICE detention projects in the state. In a letter to Homeland Security, the governor called for transparency and requested information about reported projects in Rochester, Batavia, and also Newburgh. And she also asked for a meeting with Homeland Security Secretary Mark Wayne Mullen. Federal officials responded, saying when local law enforcement does not work with them, it forces DHS officers to have a more visible presence.
Halfway across the world, there's an institution that calls itself the International Criminal Court. Maybe you've heard of it. Maybe you haven't. But chances are you don't know the names of its judges, of its prosecutors, or its president. And you shouldn't have to. But as we speak, the ICC and its friends are waging a war against our country, not with bullets or missiles, but with statutes, compacts, and the force of so-called international law. When the ICC was born 24 years ago, they told us that it was merely a narrow backstop, a global court that would step in to prosecute only the gravest offenses, things like genocide and war crimes, and only when a nation's courts were unable to prosecute them on their own. But the truth is, it was something far more radical and extreme. It was a global tribunal staffed by unelected globalist bureaucrats who claim their power is almost unlimited. The danger of this global court has only continued to grow. Today, it threatens every aspect of our political and legal system. Border Patrol agents removing violent criminals from our country. American Marines risking their lives to defend our homeland. Prosecutors working to dismantle terrorist plots to attack and kill Americans. If we stand idle, all of them would be at the mercy of foreign judges thousands of miles away, facing the constant risk of prosecution and even imprisonment for the so-called crime of defending their own country. The American people never agreed to any of this, and they never will. Read the words of our Declaration of Independence. We fought a revolution against a foreign power, transporting us beyond seas to be tried for pretended offenses. Independence is our birthright. We will never let foreign bureaucrats take that away from us. This administration will not sit by as the ICC and its allies seek to threaten our people. If they believe they can deprive us of our sovereignty, we will teach them the full meaning of American resolve.
I want to play this clip because my 77 WABC colleague, Sid Rosenberg, had a great interview with the Prime Minister of Israel today, Benjamin Netanyahu, talking about a whole bunch of different topics. Obviously talking about his love for Lindsey Graham, talking about Israel, talking about Turkey, talking about Mamdani. Sid hit it out of the park. It was a great interview, and the Prime Minister really spoke on so many important topics. And boy, there are a lot of them. Here's a little bit. Let's play this. This is Netanyahu talking with Sid about Turkey.
I'm with you. We cannot give Turkey F-35s. We just can't do that. It's ridiculous. The notion is just ridiculous. He said, well, we agree on about 99% of the stuff with President Trump. And I said, maybe that number is just a little lower. I know Trump loves Bibi and Bibi loves Trump, but maybe that number is just a little lower. But what is the real relationship right now, Mr. Prime Minister, between you and President Trump?
Well, it's never been better. I mean, one of the things that characterizes our friendship is that we talk openly with each other. You know, friends don't agree on everything, and sometimes they disagree. And we talk about it openly, in full candor. And I said to him that I think the fact that Erdogan and his administration are talking about the destruction of Israel, the conquest of Jerusalem, that's what one of his ministers said the other day. I look forward to being the governor of Jerusalem. His number two guy said Israel has no place among the nations. And the number one guy, Erdogan himself, says that basically wants to reconstruct the Ottoman, that's the Turkish realm, which included Turkish control not only of Syria and of Jordan and parts of the Arabian Peninsula, but Israel. They ruled this land, and not for better, for worse, for 400 years. So I think that somebody that has that ideology, who harbors Hamas and glorifies these terrorists, I don't think should receive F-35s. I don't think he should get any weapons. He makes his own. He occupies Cyprus, half of Cyprus. He threatens Greece. Somebody who does all that should not have F-35s.
I agree with the Prime Minister and said, I don't think Erdogan should get F-35s whatsoever. They're clearly playing all sides in this fight. And there's so many questions about what they're doing in front of the scenes and behind the scenes. And here's a little bit more. Sid also talked with Netanyahu about New York City and a Democratic Socialist mayor who clearly has anti-Semitic views, Zohran Mamdani. Take a listen.
Mr. Prime Minister, I know that, you come to the United States often, and I'm in New York City, and I hate Mamdani. I'm going to use that word. You don't have to, Mr. Prime Minister. I will. I hate his guts. And he has threatened to arrest you time and time again, which we know he really can't do. But he seems pretty steadfast on arresting you when you get here. I know you're going to come speak at the UN in September. I know you have a trip too coming to D.C., but are you nervous that he may try that when you get here in September?
No, I'm not. I think he should look at who he's condemning, who he's praising. He's condemning Israel, the one democracy that stands shoulder to shoulder with American values, fights our soldiers, fight shoulder to shoulder with America's valiant soldiers. But who does he champion? Hamas, that calls openly to massacre every Jew on earth, that conducted that horrible massacre, the worst massacres on Jews since the Holocaust. He basically apologizes and excuses for Iran, the greatest terror regime on earth, that openly calls for the murder of President Trump and other senior officials.
I'm a bit disappointed that more hosts and people on this station did not talk about Bibi Netanyahu calling WABC. Everybody should have talked about it, to be honest. But fine. Rita did it last night. But I don't think, Lou, that when Bibi Netanyahu said that Mamdani hates America, that he was talking about that group that just sang that great song, Ventura Highway. The name of that group happens to be America. But I don't think that Bibi was talking about the musical group, do you?
I do not think so.
Yeah.
I don't.
He hates America. What? Tin Man? Ventura Highway? Eddie Scazzeri's favorite song of all time? Sister Golden Hair Surprised? What? No, I don't think so. But, that comment ran all over the papers in the Middle East. I mean, and when I say that more hosts should have talked about it, you got to understand, folks. WABC, the name of the station. My name, Sid Rosenberg. It was all over the papers, all over the Middle East and Europe. I've got 6 different newspapers in Israel this morning and late last night talking about that conversation. One of them, World Israel News, the headline reads, Netanyahu accuses Mamdani of siding with terrorists, defies threats to arrest him in New York City. Quote, he's with the terror actors. Israel's prime minister accuses New York Mayor Zoran Mamdani of serving as an apologist for the Iranian regime. So the reason why this is important is we're talking about the mayor. We're talking about New York City. You don't care about Iran, I get it. Trust me. I know the country has had enough. Believe me, we play these news updates every morning, and again, there's an issue with the Strait of Hormuz, and again, oil prices are going up. Don't worry, they're going to come crashing down. America's tired of it. They're not buying into it. I say it all the time. I love President Trump. I think I'm going to see President Trump on Saturday. I've been invited to the summer White House, Bedminster, for a huge America 250 celebration with the president coming up on Saturday. But I'm not going to lie about what I'm watching here. This is a mess. It's over. It's not over. It's over. It's not over. Oil prices are down. Oil prices are up. Stop. This is ridiculous. Forget about that. Forget about Turkey. You don't want to hear about Erdogan and Turkey and F-35s and, you don't like Israel. Most of my listeners do because I speak to great Americans and very, very bright people, not hateful morons. So I don't worry about mentioning Israel on this show. But this is Mamdani. This is New York City. You've got probably, I'll make the argument that Trump, this is not even an argument, Trump is the most powerful man in the world and maybe the most recognizable. In terms of world leaders, second to Trump, if not on the same level, is Bibi. Is that not fair to say, no?
Of course.
Absolutely. You've got that guy calling into WABC. I didn't even book him. I tried. He calls into ABC to talk about all this, and he's talking about our local mayor. That's a huge, huge story. Sorry, Michael Cohen. But that's the biggest story of the day. Is it not, Noam?
It's a huge story, no doubt about it.
So where are we with Mamdani? I know that there was a press conference yesterday.
I don't think he was asked about it yesterday.
Why didn't they ask him about it?
I don't know.
Well, who asks questions at those dopey press conferences?
Well, usually a couple reporters get a chance to throw some questions away. Yeah, I would imagine. I don't know who if he had. They don't always have a Q&A, so I don't know if they had a Q&A yesterday. Sometimes they just do a statement and they don't take any questions. Other days they do.
Well, if you're listening out there and you're going to be with the mayor today, bring it up. I mean, Bibi laughed. He basically laughed at the threat of Mamdani arresting him. He'll be here in September for sure. That's when he speaks to the UN. He's coming. He laughed at that threat. He said, what do I care? He called, basically, I don't want to put words in the prime minister's mouth. He called him a terror actor. He's a terrorist. He's not in the least bit intimidated or threatened by Mamdani. Not even in the, and I guess, when you consider that there are probably as many people around the world who want to kill him, as many, if not more, than President Trump, I don't think Mamdani is real intimidating for Bibi. You know what I'm saying? No.
I don't think so either.
Yeah. I mean, it's probably really close, the amount of people who want to kill Bibi and Trump. Really close. I guess I could make an argument more people want Bibi dead. What do you think? Is that crazy?
Yeah, I think no. I think there's no doubt about it. More people want Bibi dead.
Oh, okay. So you agree with that?
Yeah.
Bibi won Trump too.
Oh, I would right now in the world, yeah.
And maybe based on my Instagram today, I'm third. I keep posting pictures of me and Bibi just to really piss these people off. Because as soon as I post a picture, you can almost, it's guaranteed that there's going to be a statement that talks about baby killers, that talks about genocide, that has the duty emoji, that duty emoji, all over the place, and it takes seconds. So I'm trying to figure out, these are bots. How do I know that? Every account looks the same, and all these accounts have 0 posts. 0, okay? So I'm trying to figure out where exactly these accounts come from. Who did it? Who did it to my Instagram and Facebook page? Both are littered with this stuff. Twitter, too, but you can tell there is certainly some type of conspiracy on my Instagram at rosenberg.sydney, where I went from 40 to 61,000 in one day this weekend, at rosenberg.sydney, and Facebook, Sid Rosenberg. Who puts this nonsense on my social media pages? Do you know?
No idea.
Is it a person? Is it a group?
No, my guess is it is...
Is it Curtis? Because all they keep saying also about Mamdani on my page is,
right.
Well, you guys in New York voted for him. You voted for him, Sid. No, I didn't, moron. You voted for him. You deserve him. I mean, it could be coming from somebody like that, no?
I doubt it. I mean, I think it's not. It's usually it's picking on a sentence, a phrase, or a line, and then
where's
the bot.
It coming from?
It could be coming from anywhere. That's the truth, really. Yeah.
Could be Iran. Could be any one of those Arab countries. You don't think it comes from any individual here in New York?
I'd be surprised.
You don't think Mamdani's people?
No.
No. Okay. I'm just curious because
I mean, maybe, but I don't think so.
1 second, baby killer. You're disgusting. All that nonsense, And then if I put Trump on my page, I get, Sid, you're a pedophile like President Trump. I get called a pedophile every day. It's always the same.
The same phrase.
Stuff.
I think it's all coming from overseas. That's just
you
my
think
guess.
It's overseas?
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Well, how do we find out?
I think it's almost impossible to find out.
Oh,
but I'm sure there's people who trace it, can figure it out. But yeah, my guess is, it's all trying to sort of keep things unstable here.
Yeah.
And have us fight with each other constantly, and
right.
we do.
We
fall for it.
Yeah, I do. I can't wait to fight. So tell me about this. Trump is saying the United States will be reimbursed for Hormuz, the Strait security.
Yeah.
He's saying he's going to charge, I guess, up to 20% for these cargo ships, even though my friend Marco Rubio, who actually texted me yesterday, I showed that to Lewis this morning, that's a pretty cool deal. When you speak to the Prime Minister of Israel and the Secretary of State texts you about my conversation with Bibi on the same day, that's a pretty big day, no?
What did he say?
He said he looks forward to listening to the interview later. He'll text me later on tonight, which is a big deal. I'm sorry. How many people out there can say they spoke to Bibi and got a text from Marco Rubio? What AM host can say that?
None.
I mean, again, I know I come off narcissistic and all those stupid words you guys love to use.
No, kidding.
But come on, man. Nobody does what I do. Nobody. Speaking to Bibi, getting texts from Marco, I'm going to see Trump on Saturday. I mean, this is nuts. This is nuts. But what does he mean? What is the actual latest with Iran?
You know, you got it right. I mean, it still continues to be a mess there. A volley of missiles last night against Iranian assets, Iran firing back. And then you had the president yesterday. He went on Fox and Friends in the morning, said we're going to take control of the Strait and we're going to charge a fee. He said all these countries in Europe that need the oil to get through or in other places will have to pay some sort of royalty, like 20%. How he collects that, I don't know. So, but it's still a huge mess. And now there's no talk at all about any kind of peace talks. That's really off. You don't hear him saying anything about that.
No, it's over. The war is back on. That's what I heard this morning. The Worldwide News Network on our station said it. The war is back on. Maybe that was even a CBS cut. I'm sorry, not our station, CBS last night television. But the war is on. There is no peace talks. And look, I think that President Trump may have figured out that his son-in-law, Jared Kushner, and his longtime buddy, Bo Dietl's buddy too, Steve Witkoff, waste our time and money every time they show up at a different place to talk to these people because they have no intention, like I said to Campo Stuppy and Griff and Charlie on Fox News a couple of weeks ago, they have no intention, I mean zero, of ever doing any type of plan that would help the United States. And if they do, much like they did with Obama and Kerry, you can wipe your ass with that plan. They'll never comply. So we're wasting our time. J.D. Vance, who I don't like anyway, J.D. Vance and Witkoff and Kushner, it becomes embarrassing. Just stop it. So take the gloves off and do what you got to do, which it seems like President Trump is doing right now, but you just don't know. You don't know. He can all of a sudden come out later on today and speak to the nation and say, hey, Kushner and Witkoff are on their way to Doha, and we're going to find a way to make this work. It could happen. You don't know. You just don't know. The unpredictability of this is part of the reason why people feel like we're not winning. Does that make sense, no?
Yeah, well, and look, the Iranians are watching what's going on here politically. They know the midterms are coming up, so they know the longer they drag this out, the more they hurt the president.
Midterms are coming up, and Mitch McConnell, who's no friend of ours anyway, he's a Republican, but he's a sham Republican. He seems very close to death, and we lost a great one, Lindsey Graham, a great one. What an emotional moment yesterday when actually Governor McMaster in South Carolina did what President Trump wanted him to do. It was President Trump's idea. Great job by the president. This is why I love President Trump. Honestly, with all the criticisms about Iran and Turkey and all that nonsense, I love this guy. Lindsey Graham passes away, and Trump is a guy that says, hey, let's put his sister there. What a beautiful, beautiful move. She wanted it. She took it. She spoke on it yesterday. She'll be sworn in today. God bless Lindsey Graham. And here we go, Noam. Here comes Darlene Graham. Pretty cool story, no?
I thought that was a great moment yesterday.
It really was, right?
Mm-hmm.
Do I have that here, Darlene? I think I've got it. Here it is. Let's play this quickly. I guess her last name is Nordone, not Graham, but Darlene Nordone. This would be cut number 2. She'll be sworn in today, but she accepted that position with the untimely and tragic death of her amazing brother, Lindsey. Darlene Nordone, Lewis, cut number 2.
I know Lindsey thought the world of his staff and colleagues, and with their support, I feel confident. I think this is what Lindsey would have wanted, and I plan to honor him in this way. Now to Lindsey, I miss you more than I can even put into words. But I'm going to do this. I got it. Thank you.
Pretty cool. Darlene Nordone right there, the sister of Lindsey Graham. Give me the story about this, I guess, this ICE agent. Man, these stories are getting tiring. None of these people are innocent victims. They're all troublemakers. They're all instigators. Not they all that they deserve to die. I never said that, but they certainly put themselves in a position where these stories can happen. It's not like ICE agents wake up in the morning and go, I'm going to kill that guy, much like cops, right? All the years we said the same thing about cops. Cops don't wake up in the morning and say, I can't wait to kill a black person today. They just don't do that. They just don't do that. Maybe Michael Furman did. That was a long time ago. But these ICE agents don't wake up in the morning hoping to kill somebody. But these idiots, whether it's Renee Good or Preddy or who knows, now this guy in Maine, I guess, I don't know the particulars, but they constantly put themselves in a dangerous situation. So what's the latest with Maine, though?
Well, he's the 26-year-old native of Colombia, and this is a very similar story to the ones we've seen before, where they tried to stop him, and I said he'd used his vehicle as a weapon, and so they shot at him. And so it's very similar to a number of the other stories that we've seen. Where there's one down
Houston
in Texas
last week, too, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So these stories, now they want to, I guess we're looking to build 3 ICE detention centers in New York, Rochester, I forget, Batavia and Newburgh up on my mother.
There was a big protest there yesterday.
Which one?
The Newburgh one.
The Newburgh one?
That one, yeah.
Kathy Hochul is talking about it. Well, that brings me to my friend Bruce Blakeman, who's running against Kathy Hochul for governor, and Bruce will be on this program tomorrow. I put Bruce on every week, not only because I love Bruce, and Bruce and I are very, very close. You folks out there have no idea how close we are, but because he is the last person that can save our state. I can't do it. I do the best I can 4 hours a day on radio, but I have zero legislative power, zero. So the guy that can actually save our state is Bruce Blakeman. And yesterday, Noam, and I know you saw this too, Lewis, yesterday was day one for our one and only son, our brilliant, beautiful, I always want to call him little boy, but he's not so little anymore. He's taller than me, and he's 17 years old on his way to his senior season in high school. But our great son, Gabriel Martin Atticus Rosenberg, day one yesterday, working, paid intern for Bruce Blakeman, 5 days a week, the Nassau County Executive Office, Gabriel Rosenberg working for Bruce Blakeman. I get calls all the time, hey, can I help out Bruce? And how can I help out Bruce? And my son Gabriel actually working for Bruce Blakeman in an attempt to make sure he's our next governor. Well, how about that, no?
That's a great summer job. That's cool.
That is a great summer job, and he's got a second one, too, that he's working on that involves Melania Trump, believe it or not. We'll get to that later. And AI. But right now he's with Bruce, and he's going to go 5 days a week. Chris Boyle did a great job helping us get this done. I love you, Chris. And Gabe loves Bruce, and Bruce loves Gabe. And day 2 coming up later on this morning. So that is a great story. What else am I missing this morning? Noam, I should say.
I mean, you've hit most of the big stories. I mean, there's a couple local things. You have this missing lawmaker up in the Hudson Valley was doing yard work in his backyard in Dutchess County in Dover, and he just went missing. No phone, so they can't ping him. And so this morning you'll have these ATVs, the New York State Division of Homeland Security, going to go into the woods to find him, but they have no idea what happened to him. And then there's sort of a wild story out of a New Jersey daycare center. They're investigating it that the owner was giving the kids melatonin in order to get them to fall asleep during nap time.
Really?
So, yeah.
Because I know that in the past they've used things like, what do you call that when you have allergies and, oh, come on, you could take it by pill, by liquid.
Yeah, well,
when you have allergies, what's it called? The most popular product out
like
there.
a Sudafed or something like that?
No.
There's something else.
No, the most popular product.
Dramamine, something like that?
No, no, you're on the right money there. You're on the money there. You're close.
Strychnine?
No, it's not. Come on, it's what's the matter with you people? It's the most popular on the market forever. For little kids and for adults, when you have allergies, you take what? It's usually a pink pill or
Claritin.
Not Claritin.
Allegra.
No. I can't believe we're doing this.
Zyrtec?
Not Zyrtec. My son does take Zyrtec,
okay,
though.
So whatever it is,
But
it's the same thing.
Ben, come on. Oh, my God. At any rate, go ahead. Continue your story.
Yeah, anyway, so
Benadryl, you dumb
Benadryl.
bastards.
Yeah.
Benadryl.
Yeah, some people do that. They
give kids Benadryl, especially when they have long flights.
Right. Well, one thing, if you're doing it and you're the parent, and that might be questionable anyway. But in this case, this daycare center, she just wanted some downtime. So she was given melatonin.
Where is this daycare center?
In Denell, New Jersey.
What kind of horrible place is that?
Yeah, well, obviously, and then one more. This is Joanne Areola really upset about this. She's the city council member.
I spoke to Joanne Areola yesterday because it turned out that I had to get my son Gabriel working papers to work for Bruce Blakeman. He's never worked them. He's never had those before. So Joanne Areola, I must thank her because I made a quick call to Joanne yesterday, and she getting Gabe in very, very quickly for an appointment with a local high school in my area. She is my counsel lady, to make sure that he gets his working papers this morning. So now that you mentioned her name, I do want to send her a personal thank you. The great Joanne Ariola. Go ahead, no.
Yeah, and she's outraged by the story that started back in June. Someone's been, or maybe a couple people, have been stealing those religious statues that people put on their front lawns. And it's been taking place Howard Beach, Ozone Park, like the Blessed Mother gone, St. Anthony. It's a ton of different lawns. I mean, a number of places. They have no idea who's behind this. But if you go into those neighborhoods, these statues tend to be pretty popular on the front lawns. And now people are trying to wonder if they need to bring them in at night. And people say, no, I don't want to do that. But in the meantime, this started back in June, and as late as a couple days ago, these statues continue to be stolen off people's front lawns.
A special thank you to all the people texting my phone, my amazing brother-in-law in upstate New York, Albert Baker, Vickie Paladino, talking about great counsel, people like Joanne Ariola. Vickie at the very top of the list. She's going to join me coming up in about an hour. Craig Lennon. All these people knowing that Benigno was the answer I was looking for. I got about 10 texts in a matter of 2 seconds. We got a big audience even this early in the morning. So thank you to all of you who texted. Benigno is the right answer. Anything else known? Because I'm going to replay the Bibi Netanyahu interview before we start bringing on our live guests this morning. And we got a great, great show. Joe Benigno, he'll be here tonight as the 96th annual Baseball All-Star Game in Philadelphia. We'll break down the Mets and Yankees first half. We'll also talk to Vickie Paladino, like I just said, Bo Dietl, John Catsimatidis, Nancy Mace, the amazing comedian and actor Michael Rapaport live in studio. So it's a big Tuesday guest list. Is there anything else, Noam?
No, I think we got it all.
All right, let's go to break. We'll come back.
Sid and Friends in the morning on the Red Apple Podcast Network.
Bibi, of course, the prime minister, did a couple of days last week. He did the Fox News stuff with Kilmeade. He was the best of the three. Did CNN, I don't know what else he did. I think he did one more, I forget. At any rate, he was back on yesterday after the untimely, tragic death of Lindsey Graham, because Lindsey Graham, who was very close with my first cousin, Norm Coleman, loved Israel. And Bibi loved him. And of all the people I saw on Fox News yesterday morning, I appreciated the Prime Minister of Israel's appearance the most, because in a world with growing anti-Semitism, where so many politicians here in the United States spend all their day criticizing Bibi and Israel, that relationship, Bibi, Graham, and Israel, was beautiful. So with that said, I am honored. I really am. I'm so happy to have this here. Here is the amazing Prime Minister of Israel, a man I call a friend, Bibi Netanyahu. Mr. Prime Minister, good morning. How are you?
Good morning, Sid. I'm in tatters, actually. I'm shocked. Nobody expected that. Lindsey Graham was a great American patriot, a great friend of Israel, and a great personal friend of mine. And he had such vitality, such energy, that to hear that his life was cut short in one fell swoop is a great shock. In fact, we were talking a few days before, as we did all the time, about how to advance security, how to win the war against Iran, finish the remnants, and then move on to a broader peace, which he very much believed in and devoted his life to. So it's a great shock and a great loss for America, a great loss for Israel, a great loss for our great alliance.
Yeah, now we have to worry about what comes next in the political world, Mr. Prime Minister. But I saw an interview with Lindsey Graham from a little while back, some young lady, it may have been Libby, I'm not even sure. But she asked him, she said, well, what do you love most about Israel? And he said, and I said the same thing in an interview I did when I was with you at JNS just a couple of weeks ago. So he said the people. He said the resilience, the courage, the love for country, the patriotism. So he understood, Lindsey, that the Israelis, Mr. Prime Minister, are a special brand of people.
Yes, I think he understood that, but I think he also understood that the security of Israel and America are intertwined because Israel is the one country in the Middle East that is holding the Middle East together, that is preventing the Islamist radicals from taking over the Arabian Peninsula, or the Jordan next to us, Egypt on the other side. Israel's strength is America's strength. He understood that. And he followed through on that also in the Senate and various legislation and throughout the years. In fact, I said yesterday that he actually often said to me, "You're not getting enough aid." And I said, "Well, Lindsey, I think we are, you know." He said, "No, I'm going to up it and don't interfere." And sometimes I tried and failed, but he would, for example, the ballistic missile defense, the defense against these horrible projectiles falling from the sky, you know. It's a bus full of explosives, one-ton explosives falling and destroying half a neighborhood. He said, "No, I'm going to increase the budget." So he was absolutely clear. He was courageous. Let me tell you something else about Lindsey. He was very, very funny. I mean, he could break you up because he has such a wry sense of humor and sometimes, a very pithy remark. He was just superb in every way.
Just like you. I've seen you speak a million times from Mount Herzl, Yom HaZikaron, to Yom Ha'atzmaut, and again speaking with you at JNS just a couple of weeks ago. President Trump, same way. All you guys are very serious when you have to be, but very funny when you have the opportunity to be as well. So, you mentioned Iran, Mr. Prime Minister. We know where we are. America and Iran, we're still trading fire almost every day. Seems like there is some peace between you and Lebanon at this point. But overall, are you happy with where we are today in the American-Iran war and you guys with Hezbollah?
Well, if you compare it to where we were on October 7th, Israel has had the greatest comeback in history after the horrible massacre we've sustained on that day. On October 7th, Hamas invaded us, butchered our people, raped and then murdered our women, burned our babies alive. And people thought that, and the next day Hezbollah joined them. So people thought that this is the end of Israel. This was Iran's plan to use its proxies for simultaneous invasions and to carpet bomb us with ballistic missiles and rockets. Didn't quite work out that way because when you see where we are, 3 years later, Iran has been itself hurt very badly by our joint operations, America and Israel. The regime has been decapitated in many ways. We hit their navy, their air force, their economy, their money machines. Everything is gone. And yes, they are still trying to negotiate their way out of this, but they're much weaker Iran. Their axis of evil, their proxy, Hamas, is a shadow of its former self. We're in Gaza, preventing them from being able to reach our communities nearby. We're in Lebanon with a security zone that prevents Hezbollah from invading us. We've knocked out about 9,000 of their terrorists, knocked out their leadership, Nasrallah, knocked out almost all of their 150,000 ballistic missiles and rockets that were aimed at Israel. There was no such concentration of precision weaponry on Earth. Nowhere. It's gone. Nearly about 8% of it is left. So we knocked out Assad's regime by knocking out Hezbollah. So basically the link between Iran and Hezbollah in Lebanon, which was Syria, is gone. And of course, and we knocked out half of the Houthi leadership. So when you look at it, we've given a battering to the Iran terror axis. Parts of it are still there. It's still present, but it's nowhere near where it was before. And that's not only good for the Middle East, it's good for the entire world.
No
Still
question.
have to do a few things.
Yep. Not done yet, right? Not done yet, Mr. Prime Minister. But I will tell you, one of the funny exchanges.
I would say a lot.
Yeah.
Not done yet.
A lot.
Done a lot.
Okay. Okay. One of the funny exchanges I had with Dr. Falk last week, he was on literally the day after Trump was with Erdogan. And I'm with you. We cannot give Turkey F-35s. We just can't do that. It's ridiculous. The notion is just ridiculous. He said, well, we agree on about 99% of the stuff with President Trump. And I said, maybe that number is just a little lower. I know Trump loves Bibi and Bibi loves Trump, but maybe that number is just a little lower. But what is the real relationship right now, Mr. Prime Minister, between you and President Trump?
Well, it's never been better. I mean, one of the things that characterizes our friendship is that we talk openly with each other. Friends don't agree on everything, and sometimes they disagree. And we talk about it openly, in full candor. And I said to him that I think the fact that Erdogan and his administration are talking about the destruction of Israel, the conquest of Jerusalem, that's what one of his ministers said the other day. I look forward to being the governor of Jerusalem. His number two guy said Israel has no place among the nations. And the number one guy, Erdogan himself, says that basically he wants to reconstruct the Ottoman, that's the Turkish realm, which included Turkish control not only of Syria and of Jordan and parts of the Arabian Peninsula, but Israel. They ruled this land, and not for better, for worse, for 400 years. So I think that somebody that has that ideology, who harbors Hamas and glorifies these terrorists, I don't think should receive F-35s. I don't think he should get any weapons. He makes his own.
I
He
agree.
occupies Cyprus,
Yep.
half of Cyprus. He threatens Greece. Somebody who does all that should not have F-35s.
No, I couldn't agree more. Two more will let you run. Mr. Prime Minister, I know that, you come to the United States often, and I'm in New York City, and I hate Mamdani. I'm going to use that word. You don't have to, Mr. Prime Minister. I will. I hate his guts. And he has threatened to arrest you time and time again, which we know he really can't do. But he seems pretty steadfast on arresting you when you get here. I know you're going to come speak at the UN in September. I know you have a trip too coming to D.C., but are you nervous that he may try that when you get here in September?
No, I'm not. I think he should look at who he's condemning, who he's praising. He's condemning Israel, the one democracy that stands shoulder to shoulder with American values, our soldiers fight shoulder to shoulder with America's valiant soldiers. But, who does he champion? Hamas, that calls openly to massacre every Jew on earth, that conducted that horrible massacre, the worst massacres on Jews since the Holocaust. He basically apologizes and excuses for Iran, the greatest terror regime on earth, that openly calls for the murder of President Trump and other senior officials, and so on. So he's with the terror actors. And I think the problem is, that he doesn't recognize, or he doesn't care, that those who hate the Jews and Israel ultimately hate America. And in fact, I think secretly, he hates America.
I'm not even sure it's secretly anymore. That's one on your.
Correct myself.
Yeah.
I'll correct myself.
Right. I know that elections are coming up, and look, I pray to God. I love you like I love Trump. I really do. I adore both of you guys. You know that. I love you. I love Sarah. I love all you guys. But, there is a group of people in Israel and here in America that are rooting for your defeat. Even though you've won 5 of the last 6 elections, are you pretty confident? Because I love what you said to Mark Levin at JNS. I was sitting in the front row looking right at you, Bibi, when you said, I plan on being here for a long time. I think you meant that, yes?
Yes, I did. But let me tell you, I run in every election as if I'm going to lose. It's up to me and my colleagues to make sure we don't. So I never make these gung-ho predictions. I say to my followers, in fact, I will lose unless you guys show up in the, on voting day. That's really my approach, and I think it's the right one. I intend to be around.
You're going to be around.
Thank you.
Thank you.
For support deeply, and let's just say that I'm really heartbroken over Lindsey's passing. He was a great American patriot, a great friend.
I'm so sorry. Yeah, I know you are. I know. I'm sorry, Mr. Prime Minister Bibi. He loved you. He really did. And, we all do here. So thank you so much I know you have a very busy morning. Thank you for hopping on today, and continued success as the greatest Prime Minister Israel has ever had, my friend. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate it. Take care.
God bless you. There he is, the Prime Minister, Israel, Bibi Netanyahu, making his debut on Sid and Friends in the morning.
This is
Sid on Sports.
Oh, my goodness! Sponsored by Peerless Boilers on 77 WABC.
Justin Ellick here with your sports update, sponsored by Pete Morgan and Peerless Spoilers. Go to peerlessspoilers.com to find a dealer near you. Peerless Spoilers, the world's best-built bowlers, start out in Philly. St. Louis Cardinals outfielder Jordan Walker edged out hometown hero Kyle Schwarber to win the 2026 Home Run Derby at CBP in Philadelphia, becoming the first player in Cardinals franchise history to take the Derby crown. Walker hit 12 homers in the final to Schwarber's 11 and won it with a walk-off 470-foot blast to left. Tonight, 8 p.m., American League versus National League. This year's installment of the MLB All-Star Game. Going for the American League, it'll be Toronto's Dylan Cease to start. You will see Yankees first baseman Ben Rice in the starting lineup for the American League, hitting 7th, playing first base. And on the National League side of things, Philadelphia's Christopher Sanchez will get the start there, and you'll see Mets right fielder Juan Soto starting for the National League out and right, hitting 2nd in tonight's NL lineup. Head to the World Cup. Semifinals getting underway this afternoon, 3 p.m. from Arlington, France and Spain, before tomorrow's second semifinal, 3 p.m. from Atlanta. That'll be England and Argentina, all for the right to play in Sunday's final, coming up at MetLife Stadium. That's your sports, sponsored by Pete Morgan and Peerless Boilers. Go to peerlessboilers.com to find a deal near you. Peerless Boilers, the world's best-built boilers. I'm Justin Ellick on 77 WABC.
Sid and Friends in the morning on the Red Apple Podcast Network.
Lopez wants it away.
And it's hit deep to left center. Andrew Jones on the run. This one has a chance. Home run by Piazza. And the Mets lead 3-2.
Take a look at this. He's got as much power as anybody. He got the arms extended. A long home run. And a curtain call.
I promised you guys, once we got through July 4th, America 250, I would play something on this show, every show, and I've done it. That goes back to 9/11, Mike Piazza's home run, and of course, I've been bestowed this amazing honor, thanks to Dom here at the offices, Dom Alberti, great guy, and Mike Keenan, great cop. The New York Pipes and Drums will have me host a big event, 9/12, the day after 9/11. Are you ready for this? How about this venue? Madison Square Garden, the theater. The New York Pipes and Drums will be hosting cops from all over the country coming here to pay their respects on the 25-year commemoration of that horrible day. I do have a Rudy Giuliani cut I want to play later where he talks about the Piazza home run, because I had Mike on the air. This is back in 2023. And Rudy came on right after Mike and talked about Mike. We'll play that later. We're talking about Piazza. We are at the Baseball All-Star break. Tonight is the 96th annual All-Star game from Philadelphia. And the Mets had a dreadful first half. They say first half. They played 97 games. That means they've only got 65 games to go, but they still call it the first half. The Mets at 40-57 are in dead last, 16 back, and really no chance, 0 of making the playoffs. The Yankees, they played good baseball that last weekend. They needed it. Aaron Boone, I think, needed it. They won their last 4 games before the break, and they find themselves 12 games over 500 with 66 to play and 3 games back of the Tampa Bay Rays. But talking about all of this is the legend. He really is, every Saturday morning still on WFAN, and now a weekly contributor right here on Sid and Friends in the Morning, my former midday partner and dear, dear friend and brother, the great Joe Benigno. Joseph, good morning, buddy. How are you?
Sydney Arthur, God bless you. I was told that I followed the interview of the great Prime Minister Bibi Netanyahu.
That is true. He actually called in live yesterday, but we replayed the conversation right before you came on. So I know you've had a stellar Hall of Fame career, but how many times did you follow up after Bibi Netanyahu?
Well, I'll tell you, I like the 2 greatest statesmen in the world, Big Don and Bibi. There you go. 1 and 2. There you go.
Totally agree. I love both of those guys.
It's not even
close. I'm going to see your boy, Big Don, Saturday at the Summer White House in Bedminster, New Jersey.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
What's going on there? What are you doing?
Big America 250 event.
Oh, nice.
He does them everywhere. He did it in D.C. Now this one is going to be in Jersey Saturday. The only issue is I got to wear a tuxedo, which I hate. Because I hate wearing ties.
You got to wear a tux?
Yeah, it's a black tie.
I don't think it's going to be as hot Saturday as it's going to be the next couple of days.
All right.
I don't think you're going to be. I think you'll be okay, bro.
It's a black tie event, and I've been there, of course, a few times. Edmonton, I love it.
Right.
So I'm looking forward to that. It's a big week, you know. My Bibi called in yesterday. Marco Rubio texted me yesterday afternoon. I'm going to see the boss on Saturday. That's a pretty big week, wouldn't you say, Joe Benigno?
I would say it's pretty big.
Yeah.
I would say.
But
it's
not
okay.
as-
Maybe the only person you're missing is J.D. Vance. Maybe
I don't want to talk to J.D. Vance.
You're down on J.D.?
No, I don't like him. I'm not down on him. I don't like him.
You don't like him?
So I was so happy Marco Rubio texted me yesterday because I love Marco. I want Marco to be our nominee.
I don't want to get into why you don't like J.D.
Oh, you know why. You know why. You just mentioned Bibi Netanyahu.
Right, yeah.
You know why. I mean, he's not fooling me. Are you nuts? Employing Tucker Carlson's kid, never wanted the war to begin with Iran. He talks about Bibi like Trump has occasionally, except Trump has done a lot of great stuff for Israel. You know why. You know the answer.
Well, I will say this. I would give Marco the edge as far as the next presidential
the edge. It's not
candidate.
even close. What are you kidding
I'm just
me?
saying. I'm giving him the edge.
It's like comparing Juan Soto to Mike Vail. Please.
Well, hey, Mike Vail had a pretty good start to his career for him.
He did. He was
Don't be killing Mike Vail now, bro.
I still have his baseball card. He was a Topps Rookie of the Year, believe it or not, Joe. But let's talk about the Mets. I went to Soto and Vail, and again, 97 games in. They're 17 under. They've already fired the manager. This guy Green has no future with the Mets. They ended the first half losing 16 of 22, including getting swept by the Boston Red Sox. What is the future, honestly, of this organization?
Well, first of all, let me just say, as bad as this, the worst loss of the year was Sunday. Now, I don't know if you saw this game Sunday.
I saw the whole game, and it was
Now, I didn't
awful.
see the whole game.
They're up 2-0 in the ninth.
2-0 in the ninth. They got a runner on and one out. And Williams, a guy hits a ground ball. Devin Williams is pitching. The guy hits a ground ball to Lindor, and he boots it, bro. That would boots it, and they go on to lose the freaking game.
And you know what hurt said too was Lindor provided the offensive heroics that day. He did.
But you know what? He don't look right, bro.
Well, no, but he doesn't.
I got to tell you.
No.
Sid,
yeah, he doesn't get along. He doesn't get along with Juan Soto.
Right.
And
that's
the Mets now admit that. And he was a problem with these other players, too, I believe, that are now gone. So, I mean, almost every Met fan I speak to, I think you just said it, I talked over you, they want Lindor out of here.
I want him out. I don't know how you can get rid of him, bro. I really don't. He doesn't look like the same guy. Forget about even the hitting. I know he had the big injury, was out for a while, but forget about what he's doing at the plate. I'm watching this guy all year in the field. He looks like he's lost, man. He's made a bunch of errors. He had a play a couple of weeks ago on a pop-up with Tyrod Taylor. He did the Alphonse Gaston. He's been picked off first and numbered. What does he do? What's going on with him?
Yeah.
Is there an issue with him? Is there an issue with Lindor? I'm going to throw this out there. We all know about, like you said, about Soto. We all know that, okay? And, look, they don't like each other. I don't care how much Steve Cohen tries to say there's kumbaya there. Give me a break. We know there's not. And you talked about, he was instrumental in Pete and Nimmo and McNeil leaving. Remember he had a problem with McNeil a few years ago. We all know about that. Maybe there's an issue, with the whole thing with his wife working for Mandami. Maybe there's something there.
I hope so. Well, that does bring up this question.
But I don't know how you get rid of him. Let me just say this, Sid. I don't know how you get rid of him. He's making $30 million a year. He doesn't look like he's the same player.
Yeah.
How the hell, you're going to have to eat a lot of that money. I don't know how you could get rid of him.
Well, you can. I'll tell you how. And I do like Caballeros. I think Tampa Bay, who never makes mistakes, made a mistake by trading him to the Yankees. He's been terrific. But Anthony Volpe, still young, looks like he's not the guy. If you're the Yankees, would you consider taking Lindor?
Well, I mean, he's got a full no-trade clause. I would think he would go there. And I'll tell you right now, bro, I don't need a lot for him. To me, it's almost at this point, it's addition by subtraction. It really is. Because the Mets right now are in a total transition. This is Juan Soto's team now. Okay, there's no doubt about it. It's his team, and it's all about these young guys. It's about Carson Bench. It's about A.J. Ewing. It's about Nolan McLean. It's about Christian Scott. It's about this kid Zach Thornton that pitched the other day. That's where we are now, and they got to go forward and go from there. They could get rid of everybody. Freddie Peralta, get him the hell out of here. I think he's going to get traded. There'll be value for him at the trading deadline. You could get rid of – I've had enough of Brett Beatty. I've had enough of Francisco Alvarez. Vientos, unfortunately, just broke his hand. So, where's he going? He's out 6 to 8 weeks. But really, Sid, the guy that's got to go is Stearns. because Stearns destroyed him with the help of the owner, has destroyed this baseball team. Just think about the team that 2 years ago went to the NLCS, lost to the Dodgers. Okay? The manager's gone. The entire coaching staff is gone. Alonso, McNeil, Nimmo, Diaz, Severino, Iglesias, they're all gone, Sid. The only guy left is Lindor and Stearns. I mean, it's unbelievable. It's unbelievable. How is this guy? You're going to give this guy 2 more years to try to – do I want this guy trying to fix my baseball team? Absolutely not.
I agree. He should be gone. Do you think right now that Beltran is the leader in the clubhouse to be the next manager?
He should be. You know, I'm all for Beltran. He got hosed the first time. He should have been the man. Remember, he was the manager for about 2 days. Then everybody went crazy. All the holier-than-now, you know, baseball writers and everybody about, you know, the Houston cheating scandal. Give me a break, because nobody's ever cheated in baseball over the 100 million years there's been. That's never happened. So everybody went delirious about that, and he got the brunt of it. Everybody else, you know, Altuve, Bregman, Springer, A.J. Hinch, everybody came out, Alex Cora, everybody came out smelling like a rose except Carlos Beltran. So they're retiring his number. He's going to the Hall of Fame. Make him the manager. I want him the manager, yes.
The legendary Joe Benigno every Saturday, WFAN, and now we're so lucky to have him here once a week with us. Let me get to the Yanks. I texted you Friday morning before the series against Washington, and I
said Boone was going to be fired.
Yes, I said Aaron Boone may be fired, and I still believe in my heart of hearts that if the Yankees didn't sweep Washington but got swept by Washington, that would be the conversation this morning. I can't guarantee you that Steinbrenner would have done it because Howe seems to like this guy, but I know there's a lot of friction in and around the Bronx about Boone and Cashman as well. But the Yankees did what they had to do. They swept Washington. They ended the first half by winning their last 4 games. They're 3 back and 12 over. What are your thoughts on the Yankees in the second half?
They never firing Boone during the season. That's not the Yankees don't do stuff. I mean, you know, when George was there, you know, he fired Billy Martin 150 times, you know, during the season. That's not going to happen now. Not with Hal. I
think he fired Bucky Dent during the season too. I think he fired a bunch of guys.
Oh yeah,
George.
no. Yeah. But there's been a number. Well, Yogi. Yeah. Look what he did to Yogi.
Right.
What was it? Six games into the season, he fired Yogi, and Yogi wouldn't talk to him for how long? Right.
Susan Waldman actually fixed that. But yes,
correct. She's the one that really brokered the deal to get them back together again. But look, I don't see that with Hal. I think if Boone's ever going to get fired, it's after the year. The same thing with Cashman. Here's my take on the Yankees. It's very similar to the Knicks. And I said this all year with the Knicks. So, you know, Knicks had a couple bad stretches. You know, people go, they're going to fire the coach, all this nonsense. No, it's all about this with the Yankees. Just get in the playoffs. It doesn't matter how many games they win in the regular season. It doesn't matter if they win the division or not, as far as I'm concerned, and I still think they probably will when all is said and done. But it really doesn't matter. It's about getting into the playoffs and winning in the playoffs. That's all that matters for the Yankees right now. You know, it's unfortunate that you got to go through these 162 games, and, you know, they have a bad stretch, and everybody's flipping out. Oh, they lost, 12 out of 15 games. You know,
forget about losing games. They've lost arguably the best player in baseball, and he's still not healthy.
Obviously, Judge has to come back. I mean, there's no doubt about it. That's pretty. And Judge and Fried has been out. Giancarlo's been out. Although Giancarlo, I think what they're going to do instead of calling it the injury list anymore, Sid, they're going to call it the Giancarlo list. Okay, because this guy is all. I mean, like you could count on death, taxes, and Giancarlo standing.
And I felt badly about that. I spent so many years down in Miami, as you know, doing 3 different sports talk radio stations. 11 years. When Giancarlo was a kid, they called him Mike. He was Mike Stanton, like the Yankee reliever, and he was on that team with Jose Fernandez, who was tragically killed in a boating accident. Right. But I was there when he had that MVP season, and when he's out there, at least during his prime, he was a magnificent player. I actually feel badly for Stanton because I know he loves the game, and when he's right, he's a pretty lethal hitter.
He's a tremendous power hitter. He's a great hitter, power hitter. He had that 57 home run year in Miami, like you said. And he's been great for the Yankees in the playoffs, but he just always, these big muscular guys, and I really think this is part of it. These big muscular guys, bro, they always get hurt, right? Think about that. Always.
It's true. Yeah,
You know?
Yeah.
And I wouldn't worry about the Yankees right now. I'm not worried about them. I really am not. It's all what they do in the postseason.
Yeah, I know,
That's
but
what it all comes
we
down
know
to.
that, but it's been 17 years since they
Okay.
won a World Series. 17's a long time now.
Okay, well, the Knicks went 53. So,
That's true. Well,
You know.
one more on the Knicks. There seems to be a lot. LeBron James is the big talk, and
Screw LeBron.
I know.
Screw him. I don't want him anywhere near my freaking team.
Fine. But the question becomes, if he's not a Knick and you have to face him in the Eastern Conference,
I don't care.
Golden State is not gonna happen. So it's now to Philly and Cleveland. But Bill Simmons, who I do
Right.
trust, I like Bill.
By the way, big Celtic fan.
Yes, he is. He came out.
You know what he could do.
I know. My Francesca loves him. Bill came out a couple of days ago and said it's over. It's done. Right now, Cleveland is literally clearing cap space to get him back. LeBron James is going home. If James goes to Cleveland, who we wiped out easily in the playoffs last year, do they become a scary threat for you?
Look, James Harden and Donovan Mitchell are probably the two most overrated players in the NBA.
Even Mitchell?
James Harden is probably the most overrated player that's ever played the game.
But Mitchell?
Okay? What? Mitchell's hit him too. What has he ever done? What has he ever done, bro? Come on, he's another fraud. Give me a break. Thank God the Knicks never traded for him. They were very close to getting him. Thank God they never did. I got to tell you that. My feeling on the Knicks is this. I got this championship that I've waited 53 effing years for, Sid. Do you think I'm really concerned about next year in the Cleveland Cavaliers?
You don't care now.
I care, but the pressure's off. And let's be here. Here's
I know,
the bottom
but
line.
hold on. We said the same thing, and I get aggravated with this, okay? Because I see teams win 2 in a row, 3, 2 out of 3. We said the same thing when Messier delivered the cup in 1994. Now it's another 32 years with no wins for the Rangers. I don't want to do that in 30 years with the Knicks.
I get it, but you think I'm going to flip out now after we won a title? Here's the bottom line. The regular season is going to be like treading water. Let's be honest. That's what it's going to be. It's going to be like treading water for the Knicks. They're going to win their 50-plus games, okay? And then they got to make a run in the playoffs. And that's it. So, I'm not going to sit here. I just sit here, man, and I just think every day, let me just tell you, Sid, every day I think about the fact that my basketball team, who I never, ever, ever thought I would ever see win again, is the NBA World Champions. That's going to take me a long, long, long way. And you know what? Screw LeBron, screw him, screw Harden, screw Mitchell, screw them all in Cleveland. I got nothing against Cleveland, the city, but screw them all there. And I don't care. We're the world champions. We'll see what happens.
Bottom line, last 30 seconds. Are you getting excited about your Jets?
Here's my feeling on it. I think they're going to be a lot better. It concerns me that Gino, can't get his head out from under his rear end. It always seems like, it's unfortunate because, I still think he's got a little something. He could throw the ball. I think he might have. Here's what I want to see.
He was terrible in Las Vegas last year, Geno Smith.
He was, but they were terrible too. And he's had some big years in Seattle. Man, he was good in Seattle,
He
bro.
was.
Okay?
Yeah.
So I think you could win games with him. But what I want to see, and I love all the young guys. I love the draft. I love the free agency, what Muji has done. I love that they re-signed Breece Hall and all of that. I love all of that, okay? We got a young offensive line that looks like they're on their way to being pretty good. At some point this year, because the Jets are, look, how many games? They win 7, 8 games, whatever, that would be good.
It's a bad division. It really is. New England's great.
And New England's going to take a hit.
Right.
If you think this thing with Mike Vrabel isn't a fact, then think again.
I don't. In fact, I think they'll be better because they got A.J. Brown. That's my thoughts.
I don't know about that. I don't know how much.
They're going to win the division. They're going to win the division over Buffalo, and then Miami and the Jets are going to be terrible. Yeah.
You think they're going to win the division over Buffalo?
I do.
New England?
Yeah.
I don't know about that. I don't know if I agree with that.
We'll see.
But anyway, be that as it may, go back to the Jets. At some point this year, I want to see this kid, Cade Klubnik, play, okay? I want to see him. 4th-round draft choice, all right? I want to see, before they go into next year where they got the 3 number 1 picks, I want to see what this kid is.
I watch that kid every Saturday play for Dabo Sweeney at Clemson.
Right.
I know college football as well as anybody, and he was a little inconsistent. I'm not sure it's going to be a very good NFL. I don't know.
Well, but what does that mean? Tom Brady, did anybody think Tom Brady was going to be the greatest quarterback of all time?
He had a split time with Drew Henson at Michigan.
Right, Drew Henson, exactly. Dak Prescott was a 4th-round pick, in Dallas. He's pretty good. I take him as my quarterback for all the heat that he takes. But whatever, I want to see this kid play, bro. I want him to get a couple games. Because one thing about him, here's what I like about Klubnik. He was a 4-year starter at Clemson, and I like the fact that this guy played 4 years there. He didn't transfer for the money somewhere else. I'm sure he was making plenty of money, NIL money at Clemson, but he didn't transfer to go somewhere else. Muji moved up 18 spots in the 4th round to get this kid. So I think this is the quarterback that he was targeting all along, to draft in the later rounds. I want to see him.
Yeah, I don't blame you. No, I don't blame
you.
No, I don't blame you. Giants went to Jackson Dart early last year, and we got a run. But I'll never forget, I was working with Jody right before you and I started together. When Tom Coughlin, 9 games in, the Giants were winning. They were 5-4. Yep. He benched Kurt Warner, went to Eli Manning. So I'm with you. Listen, I love these conversations. So does my audience. You should know, Joe. You get big ratings here. So,
well, I know, but you get the big ratings, bro. I'm just here. I just appreciate the fact that you give me an opportunity. You know how I feel about that.
Well, I do love you, but you're great on the air, too. Amazing, actually. So thank you, Joe Benigno, for another great appearance. Give my regards to your beautiful wife, Terry. We'll do it again next week, buddy. Thank you.
Okay. Same thing to Danielle. And by the way, give a kiss to the big guy when you see him Saturday. Right?
I will. You got it. I'll give him a nice wet kiss from Joe Benigno, President Trump. The great Joe Benigno right there, Saturdays on WFAN, and now a weekly contributor right here on Sid and Friends in the Morning.
Sid and Friends in the Morning on the Red Apple Podcast Network.
Looking at the picture that I posted last night of our son Gabriel working day 1 with Bruce Blakeman. Very nice shot provided by Chris Boyle. Thank you, Chris. He's so handsome, Mike. I know you all think your kids are good looking.
No,
or not.
He looks really good.
He's so handsome.
Yeah, he looks
Thank
good.
you, Louis. Thank you. Looks like his mother, who's beautiful, Danielle. But he loved that day 1. He loves Bruce like his father does. My son understands that Bruce is maybe our last shot. Certainly our best shot to save New York is Bruce Blakeman. I would hate to think he's our last shot, but he probably is. So Gaby, who considered interning for Bruce, it's a paid internship, by the way. It's a big deal. He considered interning 2 or 3 days a week. He's now going 5 days a week. Got him beautiful clothes at the garage. My guy Anthony looked like $1 million yesterday and can't wait to go back to work today. So very proud of my son working to help Bruce Blakeman beat Kathy Hochul and become our next governor. Gabe, way to go. And my daughter, too, Ava, she's working with Arthur Aidala, one of the great attorneys, not just in New York, but in the world. So look at my kids. Pretty good, huh, Noam? Gaby with Bruce Blakeman, Ava with Arthur Aidala. Not bad, right?
It's, you're as happy as your least unhappy kid, they always say. And when both of them are happy like that, forget it. It's great.
They're both doing great. I'm very proud of both of them, and it's good to have a dad like me. I could just say that. I will take a short break. When we get back, she's in charge of District 19, an amazing leader in Queens and our city council. One of my favorite people. She knows that. You know that. Vickie Paladino.
Sid and Friends in the Morning on the Red Apple Podcast Network.
Mr. Prime Minister, I know that, you come to the United States often, and I'm in New York City, and I hate Mamdani. I'm going to use that word. You don't have to, Mr. Prime Minister. I will. I hate his guts. And he has threatened to arrest you time and time again, which we know he really can't do, but he seems pretty steadfast on arresting you when you get here. I know you're going to come speak at the UN in September. I know you have a trip, too, coming to D.C., but are you nervous that he may try that when you get here in September?
No, I'm not. I think he should look at who he's condemning, who he's praising. He's condemning Israel, the one democracy that stands shoulder to shoulder with American values, fights our soldiers, fight shoulder to shoulder with America's valiant soldiers. But who does he champion? Hamas, that calls openly to massacre every Jew on earth, that conducted that horrible massacre, the worst massacres on Jews since the Holocaust. He basically apologizes and excuses for Iran, the greatest terror regime on earth, that openly calls for the murder of President Trump and other senior officials, and so on. So he's with the terror actors. And I think the problem is, that he doesn't recognize, or he doesn't care, that those who hate the Jews and Israel ultimately hate America. And in fact, I think secretly, He hates America.
Bibi, not a big fan of Mamdani either. And he had that ridiculous map last week, and I beat the living daylights out of him. My video is still getting tons and tons of hits and reposts. And I said, where's the mafia when we need them? But my friend Vickie Paladino, who's also a terrific, staunch soldier against Mamdani, as is Lebedo. He stopped coming on, but he's also still great. But Paladino has been terrific. And she's doing something very special in her district, District 19, to smack Mamdani in the face after he left Little Italy off of that enclave map. He's now corrected it because he's probably worried that some mobster will come kill him. But, Vickie, you did something very, very cool with your district. Tell my listening audience all about that.
Good morning, Sid. How are you today?
Good.
It's a glorious summer day. What did I do? Well, on a whim last week, I'm sitting around, and I said, you know what? I'm going to treat this out. I'm going to call District 19 Little America.
Wow, I love it. Stop right there. You're going to call your district in Queens District 19 Little America.
That is right, sir. I am officially changing the name District 19 Little America. And I want to watch the heads explode. I think it's a great opportunity. I'm calling on people who feel like, welcoming. I'm going to welcome refugees from all over the city who want to live amongst the culture, as the tweet says, of a nation that they once knew as the United States, which New York used to be part of prior to January of 2026. Right. Here in Little America, we believe in private property rights, home ownership, cars, law and order, God, and the Constitution. And then I went on to say, which pissed a few people off, I'm considering building a wall. Let me know if you'd like to help. And that's just a pun. Nobody's got a sense of humor anymore. And I find that even more amusing, those who lack a sense of humor. So have at it. I'm looking forward to it. You cannot believe the responses off of this. Spencer Pratt even retweeted me.
Wow.
Yep. Ted Cruz has retweeted me now in this last week. Because what Mamdani is doing, and you know it too, he's trying to operate this city as a soft secession to the United States. Look at what he's doing with that backdoor deal with Iran that everybody seems to be quieting up about, when we should be blasting that. Okay, when his immigration commissioner went behind his back, supposedly behind his back, to meet with that leader of Iran when he was here with the UN.
Yeah.
And why are we sweeping that under the rug, Sid? This is BS.
Oh, no, listen, it is. And I know that in D.C., they're not sweeping it under the rug. And the lies. I mean, this guy lied twice last week. First, he lied, like you said, behind his back. He knew all about it. You can bet your bottom dollar on that. And then he went on to blame the Little Italy omission on the immigration map on Eric Adams. I mean, this guy, a liar.
Yes, the dog ate my homework routine.
Right.
He's 34 years old. He's surrounded by a bunch of, terrorists or terrorist activists. And you know what? The kid was sweating bullets. When he was in front of that Peloton, when he was at the gym and people asked him questions, because we all know that the reporters do not ask this man any kind of real serious questions.
Oh, they're the worst. Oh, come on, whether it's Errol Lewis or Katie Honan, even the ladies I really respect, people like Marsha Kramer and people like Morgan Mackay, come on.
Yeah, no, it's nauseating. And if he is asked a slightly tougher question, he scrambles about, but I watched him break a sweat. And I said, little sweat beating up on the brow. How's Zoran? When they ask you about Iran. And I was like, okay, you can blame Eric Adams all you want, love him or hate him. That map, trust me, that's all done by Zoran on purpose. He did what he did to omit the Jewish community, to omit all communities. We built this place, Sid, between the Irish, the Catholics, the Jews, the Italians. Come on, please. And you're going to tell me Eric Adams...
It wasn't our guy. And by the way, it certainly wasn't the Muslims. As Robert Davi pointed out, the great actor on the show yesterday.
When did they get here?
Yeah.
When did they get here?
A lot later.
A lot later, exactly. If I want a halal truck, I'll go out and see a Muslim. But that's it. And I'll probably get in trouble for this, but I don't really care. Because enough is enough. We've got a terrorist sitting in office. And, you know, everybody, you got the homeless encampment. Now, you saw that up on the Upper West Side?
Yes.
They're covering that like crazy. And here it goes. I was on Newsmax yesterday, and I'm going on Fox this morning. And the big thing is this. Who voted for these? Who voted for this guy? Upper West Side? Lower, wherever we are in the city, they voted for this. Well, have at it. Enjoy the homeless encampments, folks, because you voted for it.
Listen, and look, I jumped on the Cuomo bandwagon. I knew as well as anybody how Andrew Cuomo destroyed this state. He did. Sorry, Melissa, but he did. But I just couldn't have this other guy win. But the truth is that when you looked at the choices, Curtis Sliwa, who has turned out to be a complete clown, and Andrew Cuomo, it's not like the choices out there was so great to begin with. No. I mean, let's be honest. We got to get some better candidates out there.
Well, here we go now. We're 2 years out. Look, the election is in 29. If that bench doesn't start to get warmed up now, our bench, with real people that could actually do something in this city. There are businessmen, wealthy. This city needs to be run like a business. We passed $126 billion budget on June the 30th. Okay, what the hell is going on here? Where is the money? We've got Nick Shirley here in Flushing. I had a third-party go-between, and I made sure he hit Flushing. I said, we've got more fraud going on. I got my hands in 6 different pots here, and we're juggling between you on the radio, me out here. We got Bruce Blakeman. Man, oh, man, congratulations to Gabe.
Thank you. Thank you.
Really fabulous, my God. As a matter of fact, you're going to put me in touch with him. Because
awesome.
We need to get a groundswell going. There needs to be, this is low-hanging fruit, Sid. This is low-hanging
I know.
fruit.
And, you say we need to get a ground game going. And, I get those personal messages. Look, I think Bruce is doing a magnificent job. He's still doing a great job in his second term as a Nassau County executive. He is all over the state. But folks are like, they don't know what he's talking about. He's all over the state. But I keep getting those messages that ground game, ground game, ground game. So, and people keep mentioning names to me, so I'm glad that you'll be involved in that because we need to do all we can to make sure that Bruce Blakeman wins. That's the bottom line, Vickie.
He needs 33 1/3, Sid, of our boroughs.
Yeah.
And that's serious. That's a hard haul.
Yeah.
However, when you've got what you've got sitting in City Hall, let's think logically here, and you've got what you've got upstate. She's in bed with this little so-and-so, okay? And when God forbid she should win, we are dead in the water.
Dead.
We are freaking dead in the water.
Well, so that brings another question for me to you then, Vickie, because city council is important. But let's be honest, okay? 51 city council members. There's only 5 on my side. You're one of them, thank God. But 46 against 5, and about 25 of those 46 are complete lunatics. They're to the left of Bernie Sanders. So the truth is, the city council, despite your best efforts, and Frank and Ina and Joanne, it's a lost cause. And David, so my question to you is, because I think the world of you, when is Vickie Paladino going to run for, I don't know, Congress, state senator, maybe mayor, something bigger than the city council?
It is very frustrating. I am mulling over a lot of different ideas. People are calling me. I am mulling over a lot. I don't know just yet, Sid, but you're absolutely right. I cannot stay in the city council where I feel useless. I feel as though but, I really think that the other side of it is my district depends on me so. And the voice, thanks to you and others, my voice has gone out there. If somebody would have told me in 2016 somebody actually would want to hear this voice, I would have told them they would not. And my husband would have been right behind me. But because he can't stand it. But the point is,
he loves you.
It's time for sense and sensibility here. We need to get Blakeman. We need to concentrate on taking over the State House. I don't know as far as I go just yet what avenue I want to pursue, but I play to win, Sid.
Yep.
And
that's why I love you.
when I test the water, it's got to be in a lake that I could swim in and definitely win.
Well said. Well, now that you're talking about lakes, I got about 60 seconds to go. You're talking about lakes and water, okay?
Yeah.
And I think the world of you. I just said to you should run for something bigger. I need you in a big spot here in this city or this state. But I don't know, you and Frank Morano, specifically you two guys, who I love dearly, for some reason, you want to take the fish prize out of the carnivals. I love winning fish at the carnival.
Shut up. You know what? I have to tell you, I know I only got 60 seconds, but let me tell you this. We have got major animal lovers, fish lovers, who work in my office. And when this happened at the Whitestone Carnival, okay, whereas these fish were being really disgustingly dissected, and they had like 12, 15 fish, that it was disgusting. And my one person who works in my office said, we should produce legislation about this. Do away with giving away live fish at carnival.
I mean, come on.
It seems simple enough, right? But when you think about all my great legislation that I have in,
right,
and this is what they actually picked up.
Yeah, we got a terrorist running the city about giving out fish.
And you're going to talk to me about goldfish. And the funniest thing is they picked that up. My other legislation, I can't even get into committee for this city to listen to so that it could go out onto the floor for a vote. No, we'll bring my goldfish up. How stupid. But it is what it is.
Oh, it's funny. No, it's funny. Listen, you're a treasure. We are so lucky to have you in Queens. And I meant what I said, Vickie. I don't just throw out compliments unless I mean it. I really think you should be in a much bigger spot. You can be one of the people that are actually, like Bruce Blakeman, that can save us somewhere down the road. So keep kicking ass in the city council and keep doing a great job, okay? We love you here. We love you.
And get me Gabriel's number. Text me.
I will. I'll text it to you right now. That's very sweet. Thank you, Vickie. I love you. Thank you so much. All right. That is the great city council lady out of District 19 in Queens, which she has now renamed. I love this. Way to go, Vickie Paladino. Little America. Still to come out of South Carolina, Nancy Mace. That's a big one. She knew Lindsey Graham pretty well. She just lost that governor primary in South Carolina. Trump screwed her. We'll talk to Nancy Mace coming up. Michael Rapaport. He'll be live in studio. The boss man, John Catsimatidis.
Sid and Friends in the morning on the Red Apple Podcast Network.
Whether it's a Thursday night at Rayo's or just catching up with them outside by Bryant Park, few New Yorkers, if any, are better than my guy, Bo Dietl. Bo, good morning, buddy. How are you?
Good morning, Sid. A little sad time here with Lindsey Graham. He was really the great lion of the United States Senate. Last time I saw him was with the 8 senators and the Secretary of State over there in the White House with the president when I went to visit him.
That's right.
He's always joking. Yeah. He was so important, in his Bleach for America. Whatever on these foreign affairs he believed in, his opinions were strong, whether you side with him or not. He tried to do the right thing for our country. Probably one of the great American political heroes. Even when these Iranian scumbags paraded a picture of him with a bullseye on him, you know what he said? He laughed at it, and he said, at least they used a good picture of me.
Yeah, he did say that, right? And then he went to the Ukraine. I mean, here's a guy that in America today, everybody's a coward. Everybody's a follower. There are no more leaders. You're supposed to hate the Jews. Okay, I'll hate the Jews. This guy stood up for Israel like nobody else, stood up for Ukraine like nobody else. He was a special, great American. To your point, Bo Dietl, he'll be sorely missed.
We're going to miss him. I used to be with him when I was a Fox News contributor till they threw me off, and I used to see him in the green room. We used to talk. What a great guy. And Governor Henry McMaster of South Carolina, he's the chairman of the Homeland Security Advisory Council that I'm on. He appointed his sister there, Darling, as interim senator, and it was very good. And Henry McMaster is a great governor down there in South Carolina. I got plenty of stuff on my most important subject, with the scumbag, Mayor Mondami. Okay, we can look as far as 12 blocks from 34th Street to 46th Street, homeless camp, crime, drug use, trash infested. This is exactly what Los Angeles looks like, and San Francisco and other liberal democratic cities. This is the playbook of communism. Destroy the people. You piece of garbage, smiley commie. He knows uncontrollably. He doesn't support the police, and he loves these encampments. He told the cops, leave them alone, leave them alone. The same as he does with these freaking motorbikes, no license, no registration, mowing people down, and every one of them are these people. They don't speak English. They're from Africa. Bum, 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 bum. You're coming to my country. You can't even speak English. These are all Africans that don't speak English. How are they going to abide by the traffic laws? They're delivering food. Who delivered this food before these scumbags came from Africa? Who was delivering it? I don't know. All I know is one thing. Our governor candidate, Bruce Blakeman, he is the only one to stop this. He talked about New York City being a trash, and then that other liberal, Brad Holyman Signal, whatever. They come with 6 names, right? He slammed Blakeman. He says, my borough, this is the fun of summer in Manhattan. He's a captain, you douchebag. And now I got the really good stuff. Please let me go.
Well, before you go, I want people to know that while you're talking about the mayor, last I checked, Richard Bo Dietl, you're Italian. Didn't you feel left out last week?
My mother's from Catania, Sicily. You scumbag Mondami. You don't recognize Little Italy. Let's get right to my meat here. I got lots of meat here. All right. All of a sudden, the State Department, he stopped one of his people, his official commissioner for internal affairs, Anna Maria Akakasa, whatever, a Colombian national, tried to meet with the other piece of garbage from my wrist. You're not a foreign minister. You're a New York City douchebag working for a douchebag. How dare. And underneath the Constitution, it's treason. Article 3, treason requires enemies by giving them comfort. So we know we should look into that.
Well, hold on a second. You work with Homeland Security. I can tell you that Secretary of State Marco Rubio texted me yesterday, true story, about my Bibi Netanyahu interview. Why can't you go back? You saw Rubio last time at the White House and set up some type of meeting so at the very least, we make sure the federal government looks into this.
I call upon Mike Lauder was in my office and the other gentleman up there, Nick LaLorta. They were in my office. They're my congressmen. I want you guys. I support you guys. I give you potatoes. I need you to look into this. What we got to start doing is we got to start using our Constitution. C. Viva. This is another one of the scumbag tenant protection communists. She wants to take buildings away from landlords and give them to nonprofits. 38% of the residents are foreign born. Percentage of illegal immigrants living in rent-regulated housing is the same as the total population of the private property. Feds can remove Mondami from office under the 1954 Communist Control Act. Mondami, you're not a socialist. You're a communist. Let's take this smiley face out. Also, we got to go back to my Italian thing. You know, all of a sudden he makes this mess. I didn't do it. You're full of crap. You can't even own up because you're a lying smiley face. How dare. Spanish Harlem, man. That's where I was a detective up there and a cop. You don't recognize them, my Jewish friends, my Irish Riviera. You piece of guy. Little Pakistan. What's the other ones here? Little Pakistan.
Odessa. Little Odessa. Little Palestine.
Listen to me, Mondami. You need an education. Why don't you and me have one room? I'll go in a room with you. Get rid of your police security around you, you little punk. Put some of your violence interrupters. I'm not doing nothing. Spending millions of dollars. All of a sudden, what it's all about, his goal is to erase white people from the history of New York City. That's what he wants. These immigrants, welcome to New York City. You didn't do crap. My uncles and my grandfather, they were digging up tunnels for the subways and all that. Yeah, the Italians.
Wait a second. I hate to correct you, Bo. I'm sure your uncles did all that with the subways, but last I remember, you were actually an iron worker or a steel worker. You worked on the World Trade Center.
Yes.
Wasn't that all Muslims? I'm kidding.
Oh, yeah. You know, that was, you know what, when we worked, I think it was Local 40, the iron workers, I was a connector on the steel down there. First I saw it as a freaking slave, a concrete laborer. And you know what? I didn't see any Muslims there. They were mostly Italians and Irish guys. Of course. These are the guys that built New York, you scumbag. And on top of it, all of a sudden there's this Zoom exposed exactly what this DSA, don't call it DSA, it's communism. It's the DSA immigrant revolution takeover plan. Its goal is to replace every single elected official with naturalized citizens, these foreigners. Replace the current Supreme Court with their judicial aid support to Congress, extend voting rights to non-citizens, public ownership, major industry. This is where they saw amnesty for undocumented immigrants. It goes on and on. And I tell you what, did you just see $11 billion, smiley face, you lost in income because all the billionaires, you went after Griffin, all the billionaires, all the people paying the tax, all left, douchebag.
Yeah, I mean, like Suzanne Miller just texted me that people are not leaving their one-bedroom apartments or paying big money. It doesn't matter. They will eventually leave. They're not leaving yet, but the billionaires are leaving, the millionaires are leaving, and I don't want that to happen because I love Suzanne and Corey, all my real estate buddies, but it's going to happen.
Yeah, you know what? I have a business here. I would have been. Feet don't fail me now. I would have been out of here, but I'm staying. I'm fighting with you, Sid. Also, our education. Do you remember who was running the Department of Education? Banks. He had to leave because he was corrupt up the butt. Now we got this other guy who's the chancellor. He's under indictment now for all his illegal things. $13 billion Department of Education contracts. No competitive building. $1.3 billion paid out for the Department of Education. And you know what? Kids can't read and write. Stop the crap. This is what's going on. A couple more things here, buddy. We got fraud and waste, every bit of it in the Department of Education. Then to listen to this one, the fraud enforcement, Tish James and Tom DiNapoli. What are you doing? You're doing nothing. The feds just cut off $60 million in funding to New York Medicaid fraud. Only 9 criminal indictments from 2021 to 2025. Who's investigating these? Stevie Wonder? Come on, they're robbing everything. And then from controlling DiNapoli. You're a smart guy. Okay, you have authority over the state $277 billion budget. I guarantee you there's 35% of fraud in that. And then on top of it, we take a kid with his iPhone. What's that kid's name? That kid that runs around.
Nick Shirley.
Nick Shirley, kid with his iPhone. He found over 190,000 in frauds in one shot. And then you got this guy, this group called BRAG, BHRAG. It's a home care corporation. This is the ones that were indicted for stealing money with no bitch for these homeless. Additional $200 million this scumbag mayor gave them. It goes on. And I tell you what, all you liberal young girls, you like the Muslims? Look at that poor girl from New York. All of a sudden, she went to Ireland, Jamie Carney, and she hooked up with one of these scumbags. He chopped her up, and her little daughter found her. Oh, they're very religious. They'll cut you up. Don't you understand what they're all about? They're not peace-loving people. They're into violence. They're into changing society into communism. And that's what we're dealing with. And I tell you right now, Sid, we got to keep on fighting. You know, I was invited to that thing in Jersey. You know what I need? You know what I need? I need to get out to my house and relax because I am so stressed out of where this city is going. I love the president. Send my regards. But I go out to Long Island. I sit in my backyard. I look at the water, so I don't have to look at these scumbags on the street, and I don't have to avoid getting hit with one of these motorcycles by some mumbo-bumbo from Africa.
Bo, you are the absolute best. Another amazing appearance. He's right about that lady, too, that girl, I guess. I don't know. I keep seeing pictures of her wearing that filthy scarf that the Palestinians wear. What do they call that, a keffiyeh? That filthy scarf. I keep seeing her in a picture with the guy that ended up murdering her. And, Bo, you're just the best. That's a great segment every Tuesday. We love it. We got a fist pump here, me, Lou, and Justin, and Tanya. We get all fired up for Bo Dietl. Bo, great job. Not even close to being done. More than an hour and a half still to go on this amazing Tuesday morning. Once again, we'll talk to Nancy Mace down in South Carolina.
Sid and Friends in the morning on the Red Apple Podcast Network.
I got to tell you, John, I was waiting for you last week. I had Angelo Vivolo on the show. He was furious. I spoke to Joe Piscopo. He was furious. And let's not forget, that was the Italians. Also left out Borough Park and all the Jewish neighborhoods in Williamsburg. Also left out, like Hell's Kitchen for the Irish. This mayor left out Astoria. Your people, the Greeks. Were you angry? You didn't care?
They can't torture us. You know why?
Why?
We don't give a crap.
We don't care.
No. I mean, what happens? The Jews care the most.
We
the
do.
Italians
because
care
we
a lot.
take the biggest beating. That's why.
But you know why? But then they give you a bigger beating.
I know.
Because when they see you react,
I know.
They say, well, and they laugh. And they go, and let's beat him up some more.
I know. No, I know. You're right about that.
You want to beat up me, Astoria? I don't give a crap.
That's because you never go to Astoria.
I'll go. No, I go. I love Astoria.
Do you
nice
go?
people. Nice people. Yeah.
No, I know. They're great people. We love it there.
You know, and I have some great Greek restaurants there.
Yes, they do.
And it's plain good food.
It's fantastic food. We eat Greek food every week. My place is Telio's on the Upper West Side. They do a great job.
My big problem is, with Italian food, if I go to Brooklyn and I order chicken parmesan or veal parmesan, they give me 5 pieces of cheese on top. and then you end up dying from coronary disease.
Very, very bad.
And one guy, a good friend of mine that worked for Fox, and we went out to lunch. He would love good veal parmesan with 5 pieces of cheese on top. I took him to an East Side restaurant. And the East Side restaurant, people are more careful what they eat.
Yes.
They had the veal parmesan with one slice.
That was it. Yeah.
And he was so disappointed.
He hated it.
I mean, it was so good.
Of course.
But he was so disappointed.
Well, you got that Italian restaurant by your place. Is it Elio's?
Bottom line. You ready?
Yeah.
It's very sad. He died at the age of 53.
He did.
And his father, who worked for us as a meat supervisor, died at the age of 48. If you eat wrong, Sid, now one of the things with Senator Lindsey Graham, I'm trying to confirm it. I was talking to Greg Kelly yesterday. And he had Trump on last night.
He did.
Yeah. I was talking to Greg Kelly yesterday. I think most of those senators fly those C-17s. And 71 years old, it's not a healthy thing to do. Those C-17s are meant for 22-year-olds, 33-year-olds, 44-year-olds, not necessarily for 70.
Why is that?
Because the atmosphere in those airplanes. I'll give you an example. I'm going to move up on an airplane now. My G4. I'm happy with it. I've owned it for 20 years, and it's a great interior. I'm happy with it. But at 45,000 feet, it has a 7,000-foot atmosphere. Now, the new G550 or G650 has an atmosphere of 4,000 feet.
But why are you going 45,000 feet anyway?
Because that's where we go.
Really?
Yeah.
Isn't it usually 35,000?
No, well, that's for commercial craft.
Gotcha.
And my G2 I had originally, my Gulfstream 2 had the old rocket engines.
Yeah.
Our ceiling was 51,000 feet. And when we used to fly the Concorde was 61 to 63,000.
It was that much, huh?
Yes.
I remember
and
that plane.
You could see the curvature of the Earth. We owned half the British Airways terminal was ours, so we had relationships flying
Very
each other's
cool.
plane.
So when are you getting? Are you getting a new plane soon, or?
I want to get it. You know why?
Yeah.
I'm 77 years old. Why? Why not?
Why not? Yeah, absolutely.
I'll leave an extra 20, 30 million less in my inheritance.
You're funny. I do want to ask you though about Lindsey and your personal relationship. I think you guys knew each other pretty well, right?
We knew each other pretty well. I remember the last party I went to. Margot couldn't go with me, so I took Lolly Weymouth from the Washington Post.
Yep.
And she was to his party, Lindsey Graham's party, and we had a very good time. And you know what the sad thing is? Lolly's gone.
Oh.
And
he's gone.
And he's gone.
But President Trump, who obviously you and I are both very friendly with him, and again, great job by Greg Kelly. Had him on TV last night. And I'll see the boss on Saturday. You're the boss, the president. But what he does, he right away says, let's put his sister, who has zero political experience, but yet plenty, because she was with Lindsey so often. How nice of a gesture was that by the president?
You want to know something? All you need is common sense. That's all you need. I think I had a common sense audio going around the station, They said, "What happened to Mr. Smith goes to Washington?"
I heard that. It was great.
Yeah.
It was great.
You know, we need more doctors. We need more, accountants. We need more, common sense business people. I mean, how many lawyers can you have in Congress?
I don't know.
And the thing I'm really annoyed about is that we can't listen to all these lobbyists. And
in terms of what though? What exactly?
We can't control our Congress. We can't control our country because of lobbyists. We have to use more common sense.
Oh, that I agree with. Now the problem with the common sense people are, I agree with that. I'm with you with the lobbyists. The common sense people are, a lot of our listen, folks. Common sense people are the successful people. Okay, they're the millionaires or the billionaires like John. They're leaving. Not only is money leaving New York City,
there was an
common senses.
Well, there was an article in the New York Post yesterday, and they said with all the people that are leaving New York City alone, it's going to affect the budget by $11 billion.
$11 billion.
Now, that's a lot of money. Yeah. You know why? When you have a budget of 127 and you're already borrowing $8 billion from the state,
bang,
another $11 billion, you're going to be short $20 billion.
That's right.
Somebody has to come to a reality check. And a lot of people are knowledgeable. I usually have on my show on Sunday the people from our city, that the Citizens Budget Commission and people like that.
Yeah.
You know why? Because you need the pulse of the situation. Paul Zuba from the state.
Terrific.
And you get the pulse of what's really going on. Look, I'm concerned about the way the state has surrendered to the mayor. Look, I have nothing. You know me. I have nothing against the mayor.
Come on. He's trying to screw you with the supermarkets. Look what he's doing now with the supermarkets. Come on, John.
No, absolutely. But he might be screwing himself. Don't forget that.
How?
Oh, well, when you're short $20 billion, listen, I said on Fox last week, when they're going to spend $70 million to create 5 supermarkets, that's not a good economic situation.
No.
I could probably open 15 stores for $70 million. And
it's not even going to be 70. I heard it's going to be more like 150 million.
Well,
maybe 30 million apiece, John.
When you give out contracts in New York City, what happens? Have you ever seen a contract given out to New York City contractors that doesn't come back as double?
Never.
Double coupons.
Never. And he's got to meet with some of those contractors and union people this week. I do want to get to one other thing, though, because you know everything and you're interesting. We talked about the Greeks, okay? And I know you love Trump like I love Trump. And I criticize Trump, but I still love him. But this deal with Turkey, F-35s to Turkey.
It'll never happen.
It'll never happen.
It'll never happen.
And if it does happen, because Erdogan is trying to kill the Greeks.
It'll never happen.
Now, why do you say that?
Because I'm telling you.
There's no way.
No way.
Okay. Then there's nothing to worry about. Bibi seems pretty worried.
Listen. Bibi, you had a great interview with him.
Thank you.
Bibi does a great job for his people. And whatever he does, Trump doesn't say don't do it. But Bibi is doing a great job. And the Israeli forces are, the surrounding people worry about them.
Yeah.
Because they take no prisoners.
They take no prisoners.
Good for them.
Good
for them.
Even if we don't provide Erdogan with the F-35s, and I know that Trump always has a plan, was it still a little uncomfortable for you being Greek, watching him buddy up in Turkey?
By the way, what happened last week?
Yeah.
And I was part of it. It happened on Saturday night. The Greeks put out a phony AI-created video of President Clinton criticizing President Trump. And
I didn't see that.
I will send it to you. And then I sent it because I didn't believe it, because I know President Clinton very well. He would never criticize a sitting president, never. And I sent it to President Clinton, and he says, this is phony. And then I called the Prime Minister Mitsotakis in Greece, and I talked to. I filled in President Trump, and this all happened Saturday night, and then I talked to President Clinton Monday morning or Sunday night, and he's got the Secret Service on it, and not only did they create a phony AI audio, phony, they hacked it into his Facebook to make it look legitimate.
Wow.
So somebody is going to go to jail.
Well, Trump knows that it was fake then, right?
Yes.
Okay. I think Trump and Bill kind of get along. Not Hillary, but Trump and Bill. Yes?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. I mean, look, they're both regular guys. I mean, I think Clinton went to Trump's wedding.
He did?
Yes.
And Trump went to theirs. And I heard gave one of the biggest gifts.
Well, whatever it is. Look, I think we have to have a civilization and civilized. And the problem we have right now, we have no civilization.
No.
And this is what I get emotional about. The Democratic Party has to stand up and fight the Socialist Party because they are taking over the Democratic Party. And you know how they're taking it over? Foreign money. All this money coming in for some of these U.S. citizens, the one in China, the one in New York.
Yes.
You know what's happening? It's not their money. They are just the how do you call it?
They're the kind of the
conduits
yes.
for other countries. And
but let me ask you this:
they're getting the reputation. They feel like they have a big one.
They do.
Yeah, but it's foreign money coming in, influencing, and that's how they use the foreign money for the socialists to take over the Democratic Party. Because if they're running on their own, they'll get 2%.
Yeah,
that's it, 3%.
Yeah, but they're winning.
Okay,
but
they took over the Democratic Party.
So in practical terms, John Catsimatidis, because you're right, they took it over. There is foreign money involved. Very simple question. How do we stop it?
The FBI is finally on top of it, and somebody has to go to jail.
That's it.
Because if nobody goes to jail, it's just going to keep going. That Act Blue situation they had, the Democratic Party, hundreds of millions of dollars came in, like under $99 or something, so that nobody could reckon the no name required.
Mm-hmm.
It's like the Joker was told one of the a freshman congresswoman in Florida got like $40 million. From where?
How?
Act Blue. And they all went to Congress and they all took the Fifth Amendment.
Oh, boy. That's a fascinating segment. Excellent job, John. Great to see you. Thank you.
Keep
that was
fighting,
great.
Sid.
That was great.
Fight for,
you too.
Fight for America.
You
I
too.
fight every day.
I know you do. We
every
both
day.
do.
Yes, we do.
The great John Catsimatidis. You really are great. 5 p.m. every afternoon alongside Rita Casby. It's the Cats and Cosby Show. 8 a.m. every Sunday morning, the Cats Roundtable, another great show. We're lucky to have him. He's our boss, but we love him. John Catsimatidis.
Sid and Friends in the morning on the Red Apple Podcast Network.
Michael Rapaport, such a huge fan of this guy, from Higher Learning to, I don't even know the name of the movie. It was like he was in Queens or something, and I think Nick Cage was in it, maybe Jimmy Gandolfini at one of these like car places down by Shea Stadium. What was the name of that movie?
Kiss of Death.
That was such a good movie.
It was a good movie.
Kiss of Death. And then after all of that, he tops it off with this amazing, and I mean this, Mike, I'm not patronizing you, this amazing performance as Sammy's father in Atypical.
Yeah.
And you know, my son Gabriel has a, not as bad, thank God, but a bit of a, he was born with I guess, what would you call that? He's got something going on.
Mm-hmm.
And we would watch that show, and we'd all cry. You're great in that.
Thank you,
You're
Sid.
a great actor. It's a shame now you can't get gigs because you actually stood up for the right people. I mean, that's what your documentary is basically about.
Yeah. Well, first of all, I appreciate it. I love that you when you start talking about the people you're surprised call you. I've known you For how many? I've known you for so many years.
Over 15 years.
When you were on the Upper East Side.
Yes. When I saw you having Starbucks. Like my dear friend Oren Port this morning goes, I just saw your boy Marco Rapaport at Starbucks. People get very excited. He's one of my best friends, just so you know.
He told me.
But I walked by you that day, and I'm like, oh, my God. I called my wife. I go, and she loved you from Howard Stern because you do the fantasy football stuff. And I'm like, I think I'm going to be best friends with Marco Rapaport. She goes, you saw him having a cup of coffee. I go, Danielle, this is the beginning of something big.
You're looking good, Sid. You're looking tan. This is like your time of the year. The tan, the sun, it comes, it tracks to you.
You're tan, too.
No.
You got the Irish tan.
I got the Ashkenazi Jew skin. I sleep with sunblock.
You do,
Sid.
right?
Yeah, I don't play with the sun. I don't play with the sun.
So you never go to Israel this time of year, right?
No, I do, but I might as well put on a burqa.
I know.
I can't play with the sun.
You got the hat on.
I don't play around. Yeah, I don't play around with the sun.
So just quickly back to the documentary, because people are asking me every week. It's a magnificent piece.
Am I canceled yet?
And are you canceled yet? And you did lose a lot of money and a lot of gigs, but I think it's all coming back to you. If it's not, who cares? You're a hero now. People love you like never before. When can people actually see
in
that
the fall?
Piece?
You know what? I told you before I would come in and announce this, that, and the third with you. I will come in here when I have the date, when I have the time, when I have the platform for the documentary. It's coming soon. We're working things out. We just finished the film, and I will come into the studio. I am a little disappointed. I came in today. I got no Big Mac. I got no hash browns.
Well,
where's the McDonald's for me?
That means you're not running for mayor yet. You promised me you were going to bring it in when you announce you're running for mayor.
Well, and I'm listening to Vickie Paladino. I mean,
she was on earlier.
That's what I'm listening. Every time I tell you I listen, you're shocked. I'm listening
I still
to Vickie.
can't believe it. I'm like, he's got to be listening to Howard.
She's so New York, but she said something that made me think. She goes, and she's right. The city needs to be ran like a business. Now, as far as me running for mayor, you running for mayor, I'll do whatever I need to do to take down this dog.
Right.
This rat.
Right.
But no one's announced that they're running for president of the United States. I was thinking the other day, I was like, if you haven't announced you're running for president of the United States, we don't need to go crazy with the mayor. We need to get our stuff in a row, the warm-up deck and all that stuff, line everything up, and whatever needs to be done to win, to take this dog up. But I think this dog, because his ego, see, he's not used to being famous. I'm famous 30 years. I'm Michael Rapaport. I was famous before I became famous in these beautiful streets of New York City.
True.
This fake smiley monster, I call him the smiley monster, Zoran the moron, the perpetual smile. And like, I think the fame is getting to him, so he thinks he could say everything because when he walks down the street, people are excited to see a quote unquote celebrity. Well, it's gonna bite him in the.
I hope
the
you're right. It depends where he walks down the street because
they love him. They think he's fantastic.
Really? What if he walked down Mulberry Street this afternoon?
Mulberry. He doesn't know where Mulberry Street is. It doesn't exist to him. Little Italy, Germantown doesn't exist to this.
Right.
But Little Italy in the Bronx. There's two Little Italies.
Arthur Avenue
doesn't exist to this person.
Yeah.
Who are you? Where do you come from?
I don't know.
You're from Uganda.
Yeah.
You became a citizen of this country less than 10 years ago, and now you're dictating who, what, where, and then you blame it on Mayor Adams. Every time there's a mistake, every time there's a mishap, every time one of his people from his administration wants to meet with Iran while we're in a war with these animals, I don't know. I had nothing to do with it. It was a mistake. My wife tweeted the porn takes, like she was elation, orgasmic. I didn't know. It's always I don't know. No, you do know.
He knows. And don't you think?
And the rent's high now. The rent's at a record high now.
And don't you think it was racist to blame the black mayor for keeping out the Italians?
Yes.
How come no one said that? What about this racist Mayor Mamdani? He blamed the black guy.
Yes.
Poor Eric Adams.
Right. Blame the black guy. He could get to Eric Adams. We would get him. He's like a Karen. This guy's a Karen. Karen Mandami, the mayor of New York City.
I like Zoran the Moron, too. He also left out...
Zoran the Moron, the smiley monster, a.k.a. Karen Mandami.
I like it. He also left out Williamsburg and Borough Park.
And they blamed it on the black mayor.
Always the black mayor.
Karen.
Always the black guy.
Yeah.
How about that? Put that in the paper today. I think Michael did it again, Rapaport. Karen.
Yeah.
This mayor is also a Karen.
Yes, but somebody from his administration is going to meet with Iran. You didn't know that's a mishap? When you have a schedule out a day, I'm going to go do Sid. I got to go to the doctor. I got to go do this. I'm going to go work out. It's not like if you're going to go meet with somebody from Iran, and that's not going to the schedule. It's just going to kind of be like a screw up. That's not like a mishap.
Right. That's a big thing.
Everything's a lie.
Yeah.
He's a con man, and I think his ego's going to bite him in the butt. And yes, and he's talking about watch parties here, watch parties there. I'm going to go watch the World Cup in Little Italy.
Are you really?
Yeah, I'm going to go watch it in Little Italy.
For you.
Yeah.
You got to do one of your amazing videos, because the best Instagram follow in the world is Michael. Do one of your Instagram videos from Little Italy.
Little Italy.
Who are you rooting for, by the way? Because they both hate the Jews, Spain and France. They both hate us. Hate us.
I have a good friend of mine. I'm not a big soccer person. I'm not going to sit here.
Me either.
I have a good friend of mine whose kids love they're from France.
Oh.
Great Jews. And their kids like France, so
Okay.
I'm rooting for. I don't have any dog in the fight. I'm not a soccer person.
I'm not either, but I've actually enjoyed it. I'm not going to lie to you.
It's fun.
It's exciting.
Yeah, and it's
right?
good for people. Love it.
Yeah.
I hope it inspires other Americans to play, and we could finally one day win this tournament.
Right.
And I feel like, there's so many incredible athletes in the United States. There's money to be made. You can't all play baseball, football, or basketball. We got great athletes in this country. Let's take over soccer.
Talking about basketball, I had the opportunity a couple nights after the Knicks won the championship.
That was crazy.
My dear friend Randy Levine, who runs the Yankees, I think I'll see him this weekend for a Dodger-Yankee game. He invited me, Danielle, Ava, and Gabe to his box. We're there all the time now, all the time. And on that night, it just so happened that Jalen Brunson and Josh Hart were in the box as well. And you saw all the pictures. And
What
they
was
were
that
so
like?
nice to me.
I mean, right after the championship, what was that like being around them? Because now it's like they're always going to have this sort of glow around them because they brought us the ring.
Yeah.
But to meet them and be around them right after they did it, was it exciting?
It was unbelievable. I got the same feeling with that I got, first time I met President Trump, or you, quite frankly. And they were so nice, Mike. They couldn't have been nicer. I must have asked Jalen Brunson for 9 pictures. Ava wanted one, Gabe wanted one, then me and Gabe. He never said no, never came close. Josh Hart was taking selfies. They don't know who I am. They have no idea who I am. They know the guys from Hot 97. They know the guys from Z100. They don't know me.
Everybody knows crazy Sid Rosenberg.
They do?
Of course, man. And if not, they're like Sid Rosenberg. They feel like they know you.
Now they know me. But I will tell you, those guys, Mike, they were so nice.
That's the best thing about them.
Right. That's that Nick team, right?
Yeah, that's the best thing about them.
Are.
They're so likable. They're so genuine. And they're so just themselves and comfortable being themselves. There's no air. There's no put on.
Nope.
And that's almost as good as them actually winning. We could be proud of the team.
Well, you should be proud because it's never going to happen again.
Don't say that.
What do you mean? It's been 36 years for the Rangers.
Sid.
LeBron James goes to Philly with dead.
Don't say that.
He's going to Cleveland, bud.
Don't say that.
Well, you think we're going to win it again?
I'm not saying we're going to win it again. I'm saying we're going to absolutely
We lost Mitchell Robinson.
And we should and that was a and as far as the offseason, there's the Jaylen Brown, there's the LeBron James, but the Knicks, the championship team, losing a piece, a guy like Mitchell Robinson, you can't replace it. Andre Drummond is a good substitute, number one, but Mitchell Robinson won us games.
Right. And what about the great Huck Portis?
He ain't no Mitchell Robertson.
I'm just
the
kidding.
Huck Porty.
How do you say it?
Huck Porty.
I call him Huck Portis. I don't know. We did re-sign Landry Shamet. That was good.
They all deserve it. We're Jose Alvarado. They earned it, and they love being part of the Knicks.
Yeah,
and that's one of the things about the 1970 New York Knicks team. They loved being part of the Knicks, and they loved the cohesiveness of the team. But yes, losing Mitchell Robinson,
that hurt.
It hurt. That was the biggest offseason loss. Jaylen Brown obviously is a superstar, but that's not a championship team. No. Celtics ain't a championship team. You know who is?
Oh, they were 2 years ago.
No, but
and
the New
was
York
part
Knicks
of it.
We're the championship team now.
Yeah, and what's funny is I'm on a plane, El Al, and I'm taxiing towards the runway on my way to Israel. This is like the day. It was the Thursday, the day of the parade, and I get a text as soon as I'm about to head up to Israel, and it's Michael Rapaport. And you were so angry. You go, would you believe this sea-sucker mayor ended up talking more up on stage, him and his filthy wife ended up talking more up on stage than Jalen Brunson and Mike Brown during the actual parade.
This guy, Karen Mandami, he spoke more than any Nick. He spoke more than the coach. He spoke more than the owner. He spoke more than Mike Breen. He had the biggest speech. The mayor, who can't make a layup with his left hand and his right hand. You ever see him shoot free throws? He shoots like a I don't want to say what he shoots like. He shoots like a guy.
You can't say like a girl because the girl in what's her name? The girl that gets her ass kicked in Indiana every weekend.
Caitlin Clark.
Yeah, she'll kick his ass. He can't even lift 80 pounds.
He's a joke, but he's up there talking and yapping in this chat GPT speech.
Right.
About this and Charles. You don't know nothing about Charles Oakley, Patrick Ewing, Glenn Gondrzik, Ray Richardson.
He mentioned Glenn Gondrzik?
No, he knows nothing. He doesn't know who Bill Cartwright is. He's a chat GPT fraud. The other day, he's up there. So Jay-Z performs at Yankee Stadium. Yesterday, he does a press conference. My first album was Jay-Z. It's everything coincidence, except for when his administration wants to meet with Iran. Then he doesn't know anything about it.
He knows nothing about it. So, I mean, is he, how old are you now, Michael?
56.
Oh, my God, you look great.
Thank you.
56 years. He spent a lot of years out in Los Angeles because you are a big-time actor, big deal.
Time.
But you've been back and forth to this city forever. Is he, just for you, is he your least favorite politician? I mean, you referred to my friend Trump as Dick Stain for a lot of years. That's over now.
Yes.
He's the least favorite.
Yes, because I'm from Manhattan. I grew up not too far from Gracie Mansion. I grew up playing basketball, riding my bike in Carl Schultz Park, John Jay Park.
Yes.
You know, the Upper East Side and New York. I mean, he's the mayor of my city, and he's in proximity to me. This con man.
Have you seen him walking
I've
past?
never seen him.
Okay.
But you know what I was thinking? I was talking to your guy. Why isn't there somebody from WABC every now and then at his press conferences? Everybody's there rubbing his feet, giving him manicures, pedicures. Why isn't somebody in there floating him questions? Where's your wife? She spent $3,400 on a yoga / Quran retreat. $3,400.
Yeah.
That's a lot of money
in Spain.
That's not including travel.
Right, and that was also the day of the 250th birthday celebration. This is an excellent question, Noam.
Why aren't you floating people in there?
Noam, where are WABC? Where's our people?
It's a great question. I will point out, though, you get like one question, right? So, because then he'll never call on me again. So if I ever ask something about his wife in a way that he didn't like, he would see my face the next time and I wouldn't get called on.
So what?
So I get a one question only.
How many questions have you asked so far?
None.
Okay, maybe you send me in there. I'll float some questions in there.
I'd love that. Hey, can we do that? Hey, Lou, can we hire Michael Rapaport right now to be our
Let's do it.
I got a podcast. The I Am Rapaport. I'm a press person.
Podcast.
WABC. Michael Rapaport for WABC. Excuse me. Excuse me, Mr. Mayor. I got a question.
Get Catsimatidis back down there. He was just here.
Trump's got people in there that oppose him.
Well, what would be? Let's set it up as a mock press conference. What would be the first question you'd ask Mom Donnie?
Where's Rama Dawani? Where's your wife? Where is she? I want to know where she is. And you call her an artist. Has she ever sold a piece of her art?
She probably has to Hunter Biden or somebody like that.
Okay, and Mr. Madami, you talk about the crime being bad. You talk about the rent being high, but you're always smiling. Do you have a tick? Do you have a tick? Because you're smiling all the time. It could be talking about crime. It could be talking about something. Is there something?
Like
have you ever
October
been
7th could be talking about
You're
rape
always
and
smiling.
Murder. Always happy. Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm so happy.
Yeah. But is it a tick? Have you ever been diagnosed with some sort of are you aware when you're smiling?
Now, Lou, you wouldn't love that question if Rapaport actually said to the mayor, hey, do you have a tick or something? Is there something physically wrong with you?
I just
want
the interview to keep going.
I know. That's the thing. You'd have to ask more than one question.
I'll keep going. Listen, we're spitballing.
I know, but what if they jump out there and physically remove you from the scene or something?
Why? I'm asking Mr. Mayor.
Would you put up a fight? Would you yell and scream?
Why would they remove me? I'm a press person.
Well, because
I'm just asking questions.
He may feel like you're attacking him.
I'm just doing my job, Mr. Mayor. I'm sorry. I'm just because let me tell you something. The party's over, Smiley.
Say it like that.
The party's over.
That's it.
Okay?
That's it.
The party is finito.
This would be the biggest thing in the history of New York. How do you make this happen? And you got to wear that Disco 92 shirt. It looks like I love that shirt.
Mr. Mayor, do you know what Disco 92 is? It was a radio station in New York. It was Mellow 92. Have you ever heard of that? Since you're Mr. New York and you're able to declare where Little Italy is, where Germantown is.
Sure.
But I'll ask serious questions about everything. When are the buses going to be free, sir? When is the rent going to go down, sir?
Yeah, okay.
All these things. You promised all. It's been 6-7 months.
He did. What happened? Nothing.
My rent just went up. I signed my lease, sir. When is my rent going to go down, sir?
The rents are all going up, I heard, Mike.
I know.
Well, you don't own that joint? You still pay rent on that?
I pay rent in the city.
Let's
not get to the details.
Take it easy.
Let's not get details.
Right,
right?
but your wife is listening. She hates this stuff.
But I would like to know, sir, when is the rent going to go down?
Never.
You're talking about 2030. What makes you think you're going to be in office? Don't mention 2030, sir.
You're going to say, sir, just like that. It's going to give me an erection, I swear to God.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
I love that, sir.
Yeah, because I'm being polite.
Yes. Well, you're a very polite guy.
I'll smile, too.
Yeah.
We could have, you want to have a smile off? You know, people have a staring contest. You want to have a smile off? Karen Mandami. Instead of trying to give tough guy faces, I could smile all day too. Hey, how you doing, Smiley?
Oh God, a smile off contest.
Smiley Mandami, Zoran the moron.
Unfortunately, we got to go.
Sid and Friends in the morning on the Red Apple Podcast Network.
She's a big-time woman in South Carolina. Trump endorsed her, and she ended up clobbering Nancy Mace. But I think Mace had a pretty good relationship with Lindsey Graham. I don't even know that. So I'm curious to find out exactly, because when I texted Nancy, after I found out Lindsey died, she was really enthusiastic about coming on and talking about him. Oh. You know her name? No?
I don't offhand. I can look it up.
Well, she won the primary. She's the Republican candidate for governor for South Carolina come this November.
Yeah, he did like a dual endorsement, but I can't remember the woman's name.
No, he did not. He went all in on this.
Was it Evitt? Pamela Evitt?
Yes, that's exactly what it is.
Yeah.
Pamela Evitt, very good. He went all in, and she won relatively easily. So we'll take a break. When we come back, she is a very popular Congress member out of South Carolina, and again, just lost that gubernatorial primary in her state. We'll talk to our old buddy Nancy Mace.
Sid and Friends in the morning on the Red Apple Podcast Network.
You get to this point of the morning, we've already had all these amazing guests, starting with replaying Bibi Netanyahu. That was about 6:30 this morning. That amazing interview we did yesterday. Then Joe Benigno, then Vickie Paladino. She was great. And Bo Dietl, terrific. And John Catsimatidis, he was great. And Michael Rapaport, who just killed it live in studio. Well, good. Got about 8 more minutes to go, and then we're going to go home. And who do we got so far for tomorrow? I got 2 or 3 people that want to come on, Alec, but I don't know our schedule yet. So who's on tomorrow?
That's a very good. Well, tomorrow you've got.
Every
Marco
day,
Vince,
by the way, my kid. Hold on
right.
a second here.
Sure.
Damn it, I'm trying to say something.
No, you asked me a question.
Oh, that's fine.
Right.
So my kid, Gabriel, my daughter Ava works for Arthur Idala. That's a big deal. I'm very proud of Ava. And she's doing great things in the law profession. But my son Gabriel started working yesterday for Bruce Blakeman. See, I tell you guys all the time, you're like, I don't know how many calls I get a day. You think Bruce has a chance? You guys have no idea how close Bruce and I are. Like, we are really close. Like brothers, we talk every day. And I think I was the first or maybe second person that he came to a while back, months and months ago, when he was considering running for governor. We're really close. And he hired my son, which is awesome. Gabriel is working for Bruce Blakeman 5 days a week for the Nassau County Executive on his governor campaign as well. So yesterday it turns out that he met this kid named Judd Goodstein. You may know the name known because you listened. Doug Goodstein used to work for Howard Stern for many years and then worked for Mark Levin. Remember that name, Doug Goodstein?
Yeah, small world, geez.
His kid Judd, 1 year younger than Gabriel, also interning for Bruce Blakeman. And then we've got our friend Taylor Molitor, whose parents love this show. Her father especially, Don Molitor, and her mother Jill. And her mother Jill works for Bruce Blakeman and walked up to Gabriel this morning. So how about that, Noam?
Yeah, it's a nice welcome, geez.
I know. Yeah, everybody keeps walking over. I'm sorry, Alec, who's on tomorrow?
Other than Mark, we'll have the great Peter
Who's
King.
Mark?
Mark Levin, dude.
Oh, my God, the great one is coming on tomorrow. That's right.
Of course.
It's already an unbelievable show.
The Mark you just spent 2 minutes talking about.
Yeah, Lara Trump may be on that hour, too. I got to see.
Okay.
She was supposed to be on today, but I had to move her And we'll see if she's annoyed. I don't know.
Well, Peter
but you
King,
may get Levin
tends to be
and
flexible.
Trump.
Yeah.
All right, King is great.
And we'll have Jay Feely, who's recently endorsed by our great president,
Yesterday.
Donald Trump. Yep.
He did a whole video for Jay Feely.
Exactly.
If you guys think you remember that name, you do. He was a big-time kicker.
Oh,
big
yeah.
time in the National Football League. And 3 teams that I covered throughout my sports career, the Jets, the Giants, and the Dolphins. And Jay kicked for all 3.
Mm-hmm.
And now he's out there, like you said, in Arizona. He's buddied up to Brian Urlacher, former Chicago Bear, Hall of Fame linebacker. They golf together. And Trump seems to love Jay Feely. So we're happy for Jay.
Yeah, very happy.
By the way, Jay was one of the guys on Lou Rufino remembers this. He had his arms were as big as any lineman or defensive player on every team he played for. He was huge, Jay Feely.
Yeah.
Big arms.
Oh, my God. He still is in great shape.
I know, he's still in great shape. Then he did the sideline reporting for CBS, Phil Simms, and all those guys. So, he's on tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
What a show.
Oh, yeah, baby. So you got an open 7 o'clock hour for
so we got a big show coming
these
up.
other cronies that want to come on.
Yeah. All right, so are you going to watch the All-Star game tonight?
No.
What are you doing? You have baseball tonight.
Softball, but yeah.
You're a member of 2 softball teams?
No, just one.
Oh, you're playing a doubleheader?
Yes, sir.
What's the name of this league you play for?
There's no name for the league. It's just like, men's softball, Central Park, and a couple of acronyms in there. There's
How many teams are there?
Probably about 8 or 9 teams in the league. We're in first place. We can clinch next week.
Sounds like a mess.
With a W? Yeah.
Who plays on this in this league?
Well, I'm the starting shortstop, so I'm like a hungry hippo at short.
Well, you used
I
to
gobble
be,
everything
no,
up.
but you used to be really, really good. Are you still good, honestly?
Yeah, I mean, like in men's league softball, yes, I pretty much get a hit every time.
You do?
It's not hard.
And
just
you're a
have
good
to
shortstop.
Wait for the ball to get. I'm better than Anthony Volpe.
Yeah, well, everybody is.
Yeah.
So, and the rest of the guys in your team, they're like local guys? Or?
A college buddy of mine recruited me about 3 years ago who lives in the city.
So do you guys like go out after the games? And
If we
drink
have like a
beers
Friday
and-
night game, but I got to get up early, so I'm usually bolting out of there.
Yeah.
Right after the game.
Is this the Broadway league? Like you play Les Mis, the Cast of Les Mis?
No.
Miss Saigon.
No, it's not that Seinfeld episode where George Costanza decks Bette Midler.
We played in the Broadway league.
Who's we?
We had the ABC had a softball team.
Oh, this
we
has to be a long. I've been here for 10 years. I don't remember that.
Yeah,
so.
it was called the Dump Buttons. Was the name of the team?
The Dump Buttons.
Mm-hmm.
And who was on this team?
Oh, Jill was the.
Yeah, she was the manager.
Vitale?
Mhm.
Yeah, I didn't play.
What a mess.
It was fun. I mean, we lost. It was embarrassing. We would lose to
Well, who the hell was on the
some
team?
Broadway show or
I think
TV
Frank
show.
was on the team.
Frank Morano?
Yeah.
I think so. Yeah. He loves softball.
Geraldo Rivera?
Chad played.
Oh, Chad. Okay,
Mhm.
Chad's a good ball player.
Yeah, he was good.
Chris Libertini used to be really good before the drugs and the surgeries.
Yeah, I don't know if he played. I can't remember.
Yeah, that's not even true. I just made that up. It was a co-ed?
Yes, it was co-ed. Mm-hmm.
Was Joan Hamburg playing back then?
She was.
Yes.
She was our star player.
She was
No,
really good.
I'm being serious because she has that Broadway connection.
Yeah, I don't think she was
So
on
you
the team,
lost the Broadway shows?
Oh, it was embarrassing.
Isn't that gay? I don't know.
It was. Yeah,
yeah,
completely.
Gay?
And then even gayer when we went out afterwards.
Who's going to remember the score losing to a Broadway show?
Was there one Broadway show in particular? Like you were really.
I just remember we would go out to high tea after the game.
Do you remember any Broadway show in particular that was like really gay? That
I know
made
we
you-
played other radio stations too. Like we played WOR and stuff, and I think we won those games. But whenever we played like the Broadway league, there was like serious players on them,
Imagine
and we would lose.
Really?
Yeah.
Imagine losing to Cats or something like
I
that.
mean, right, that's what I'm saying, like Cats. So, because I'm trying to put together this game with Craig Carton, WABC versus WFAN. But to be completely honest, I'm having a very difficult time getting us to field the team. They've got Craig, he's a great ball player. Tiki Barber, great ball player. Boomer can probably still play. They got all these athletes, and I have no idea how we're going to field the team. I really don't. So we've slowed down in putting this game together. WABC versus WFAN. The former great New York football giant offensive lineman, and he was great, Luke Pettigrew checks in. He says, Jay Feely, big arms. Come on, Sid. He was a kicker, Luke. Not an offensive lineman like you, but Luke is a big guy. Big, strong guy. I love Luke.
Definitely.
Yeah, Luke was a terrific
Well,
ball
doesn't
player.
mean Feely didn't have big legs either.
No, Jay, for a kicker, Jay was there, but you can't compare him to Luke. Luke was a first-round draft choice, big-time offensive lineman
He's
for the
a
Giants.
lineman, yeah.
Yeah,
What do you
of course.
do? You have
used to see
jealous-
Luke all the time over there at the New York Luncheonette and across the street, but He's not here, I guess, as much these days. I love Luke Pettigrew. He's a great guy.
Just because Jay Feely can be in Cats doesn't mean it's a bad thing.
Well, I'll tell you something else about Phil Simms. He was the quarterback, okay? Not as big, but a big guy.
Remember, yep.
Yep, okay. I heard that in terms of bench press, he was second on the team.
Oh, he was very tough and strong.
Phil Simms.
Phil, yeah.
Wow. Yes.
That's crazy.
Second on the team in bench press.
That's crazy, though.
When his thumb hit Claude Humphrey's helmet and his bone popped out, he started crying like a little bitch. Yeah, I'm one to talk. I think I would have died that day, I got to be honest. I would have died.
That's going to be it. None of us would have survived.
No, Phil was as tough as they got. He was great.
Tough as nails.
He was great.
Very tough.
He's going to be on a lot during this football season, so we're going to do a lot with football this year, so just be ready for that, folks. Because guess what? The same guys that care about President Trump and America, the same guys that care about Bibi and Israel, our listeners, the smart people, not the idiot, hateful folks, they love football too, and I love football. So I'm already looking forward to training camp in a couple of weeks. The Mets are done. Maybe the Yankees will make that second half push. Joe Benigno seems to think that's going to be the case. And then we'll get ready for football, where the Jets will be maybe an 8-win team if Geno Smith stays healthy and plays well. And the Giants...
And doesn't go to prison.
The skies could be the limit for the football Giants. We'll see.
Thanks for listening to Sid and Friends in the Morning. You can hear Sid and Friends in the Morning weekday mornings at 6. If you like the podcast, share it with your friends and listen anytime at WABCRadio.com and download the WABC Radio app. Hit that subscribe button on all major podcast platforms. Plus, follow WABC on social on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, and X. See you next time for a new episode so you never have to wonder.
What the heck is going on here?